It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
All right, back at it. On a Tuesday, Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and CB. Boys, how we feeling?
You gotta love a rando Tuesday, don't you? You labeled that this day, years ago, and we've been rolling with it ever since. Tuesdays are just kind of there, right? Never really too much excitement around a Tuesday. That'll get us to hump day. Then we're a couple days away from everybody's favorite day, which is Freaky Friday. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good today. I can't complain about much. How you feeling?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, outstanding. We'll have a good show today. We'll have Ben Axelrod on from Awful Announcing. We'll talk some NFL schedule stuff. We'll get into all the offseason storylines with our friend Jordan Dajani of CBS in the second hour. And you know what? We'll ring up Double D in the last hour. Double D's got a conundrum in Indy tonight because the Pacers are at the Knicks at 8 o'clock and the Indiana Fever of the WNBA at 7:30 playing at the Connecticut Sun. And maybe they've got some dueling viewership going there in Indianapolis. I would think so.
I think we've got the women are tipping off 30 minutes prior to the Knicks and Pacers. So
at least
I think they'll get a nice little jump start. I think right out of the gate, there's going to be a lot of interest to see what she's going to do. I know I'll be watching. To see if she can transfer what we saw here in the Big Ten over into the WNBA and get after some of the cranky OGs like Diana Taurasi and company, right? Because they're coming for blood.
You've been playing against girls. Now you get to play against women.
Yeah, so the city of Indy's on fire right now. They're on fire tonight, and I'm sure Double D and everybody over there is having fun doing radio this afternoon going into this evening because there's plenty to talk about. So I can't wait to talk to them.
Caitlin, you better get used to that long two and stop just camping out in Steph Curry land.
I didn't like hearing that.
The long two. 75%. Mel Kiper, 75% of her shots are from outside the arc. Better learn to get in there and fall in love with the long two.
Yeah, I mean, when we entered the world of analytics, the basketball heads told us that's literally the worst shot that you can take on the floor.
Unless you're kind of free-flowing and it's in your rhythm.
And it's just not when you're that close to the three-point line, just go ahead and get a little moonwalk on and back up just a little bit.
I'll tell you what was a pretty good medium-sized two was last night when LeVert hit that meaningless shot at the buzzer to have the Cavs cover.
Oh, man.
They're down 9 coming down the court, and you're thinking about, man. And by the way, them, and I know we'll talk about this in a little bit, them even having a chance to cover last night was amazing. Even dreaming about winning, which for a second I was like, there was a dream in there that this could be the worst loss in the history of Boston's franchise.
It was crazy. I could not believe they made it that close. I mean, look, you don't get any consolation prizes in professional sports. I get that. But for the unit that they rolled out there without the guy that had been cooking most for them to show that effort, I mean, you got to be proud of them there. But yeah, the writing's on the wall. For a lot of people, it's been on the wall for a long time. And some people like to say 1, 2, 3 Cancun could be approaching the Cavs locker room sooner rather than later.
All right, let me get. I've never heard of this kid. I'm sure CB has. Maybe you have. I saw this story today. There were multiple outlets reporting that a college basketball player who is going to play for the Washington Huskies, so he entered the portal in April. He was with Utah State.
I thought you were about to talk about your boy Cream.
Oh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I like the Larry Blurred was pretty good.
Oh, man.
The Stephen Blurry. And then,
but the player you're about to name has a pretty good one himself.
He does.
He really CB knows about this.
Oh,
guy.
I knew he would. But I'll get your opinion whether you're buying this at all. But back to our guy from Indiana State, who, by the way, transferred, right?
He followed his coach, I believe.
He hit the portal.
Because he told other teams, don't even hit me up, right? I think this was a one-way street. One-way
Talk
ticket.
about a guy who could, right. After that, it was like, hey, this whole Larry Blurred nickname was fun. I played Indiana State. I get it. But I'm not leaving this kind of money on the table.
Oh, his NIL deals.
Milk chocolate.
He can't be milk chocolate.
He can be milk chocolate, just in the literal sense.
He cannot be milk chocolate in the same way I can't be white chocolate. I just can't be. You can be white chocolate.
Good.
It's great. But I got to be milk chocolate, and you got to be white chocolate. He can't be milk chocolate. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's, I understand where you're going with that. All right, so this kid's name, I don't believe this could be a given name, but it could be. His name is Great Asabor. Great.
Okay.
I think that's his first name. Yes.
Great.
Great.
Like Tony the Tiger. They're great, huh?
Absolutely. So he's committed to play for the Washington Huskies after entering the portal. According to some of the outlets, Asabor will be making $2 million
Come on.
to play basketball for the Huskies, which would give him the highest known valuation of any player in the country. Now,
See, how good is this guy?
well,
He was really good. I think he averaged about 17 points per game. He's kind of on the cream journey because he's following his coach for a second time to a new location. They went from Montana State to Utah State, now to Washington.
he was player of the year in the Mountain West.
I was going to say, did not consume a lot of Utah State basketball last year.
And why anybody, now he lived in Spain until his family moved to England when he was 12. He's got a pretty cool story. And he's 6'8", 250, so he's a big fella.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, how good would he have to be for them to pay that amount of money, or somebody would have? So they say it's a range depending on other deals, whether it's Adidas or trading cards, whatever else he could get. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous, honestly.
For a little bit of comparison, the 30th pick in this year's NBA draft will earn around $2.5 million.
Yeah, what are we doing?
So Great Asabor, they say, will earn at least $2 million. This is from the Field of 68. It could wind up being 2.2, depending on those other deals I was talking about. Now, who knows? We could believe it when we see it. We'll never see it. Only his accountant will see it and his tax return or whatever. But
Right.
I mean, this is amazing. I mean, am I really buying this? Am I? Good player, but not worth even close to that much.
Why does Washington feel like they need to pay him that? They're not some basketball juggernaut. If this were like Cooper Flagg, that you were telling me that this kid's coming into Duke and he's supposed to be an absolute star for the Blue Devils next year, then I can understand them paying that kid.
Like when CB said he was averaging, 17 you said, or whatever, 19?
17.7.
17.7. He would need to be averaging about 37.7 for this to really be truthful.
Yeah, I need like Caitlin Clark type of production and attention if I'm the Washington program and the collective and the boosters, whoever is paying that, for us to feel like we're getting our money's worth.
And if this is the case, CB, then OSU has plenty of coin to spend on your boy Bronny to get him out of the draft.
Yeah, if that's what they're motivated to do. But no, honestly, I think Great is I think he is capable.
You think he's great?
Yeah, I didn't want to go there. But yes, I do think he has capabilities of being a first-team All-Big Ten, which is crazy to say about Washington. But yes, they are in the Big Ten. But no,
he said All-Big Ten, and I had to
my
think.
brain just did not calculate that right away.
But he has first-team ability.
Okay.
I mean, is he even an NBA prospect right now? Is he even top 60 player in the draft?
Not
board?
first round, so not that late first-round draft
Here's
slot.
what I was going to ask you, AR, because you have this scale of, if you're a college basketball coach and we're paying you X amount of dollars, you need to be, slotted in whatever window according to, the other coaches around the country. When you got a player now making $2 million.
I just did it. He needs to be a top 30 player on the board.
But where does he need to carry the team next year? Where does Washington need to be
to get their money's worth?
To feel like they got their money's worth? Is that Elite 8? Or are we talking Sweet 16?
He's making about half of if this is true, he's making about half of his coach, Danny Sprinkle's contract valuation for the year at $4.2 million.
So I said something on this program a while back, and I said that when will we get to the day where some of these schools say, hey, it's not about the coach. It's about buying the best players we can. And this seems like kind of where they are. Now, if I'm Washington, I would say with their horrible history of the tournament recently, it'd be, he better get us there. Mm-hmm. That's number one. He's got to get him in the tournament. They haven't been to the tournament in 5 years or whatever it's been.
Okay.
And before that, I don't think they've probably not been to a second. They probably haven't been to a Sweet 16 in 15, 20 years.
How far did little Isaiah Thomas went there, right?
He did, yes.
Did they make any noise in the tournament when he was there?
Was that?
That's
CB?
what I'm trying to think.
So they won the Pac-12 tournament that year on like a late buzzer beater by Isaiah over Arizona. But I forget how far they went.
He was there from 08 to 11.
Oh, so they got to a Sweet 16 with him.
With him,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. That was probably their last Sweet 16.
That's what I was thinking. He's the first player that popped up in my mind when I think about Washington basketball players. But yeah, we've heard a lot of crazy rumors about this NIL stuff.
Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz was a hooper, number 1 overall pick. He was a 1-1 in that draft. He has a good call, CB. But yeah, we got dudes, private jet deals now, AR. It's crazy. But this guy right here.
We don't know whether those guys actually get the hours on the jet or whether they're just getting paid.
Well, just on the surface, right? Like the sticker shock with a lot of this stuff now is just absolutely crazy.
It's ridiculous.
And I even understand some of those because you're talking college football down in the SEC, and there's just so much power around the sport right now. I totally understand that, but this guy that I hadn't even heard of until you just brought him up, that's not at a Duke or Syracuse or North Carolina or one of those huge established college basketball brands is getting that type of coin. I mean, look, get your money.
Well, so this
they're offering it, take it.
Yeah, this is the kind of addition a little bit of the whole, everyone was like, oh, I wish these guys would stay in school longer and all that, and teams would stick around. Like, this is basically, if you have college eligibility left and you aren't a first rounder, stay in school. Go back. Like, that's what this is saying. If you can get this kind of a deal, it's a no-brainer. Like, like I said, I'm looking at the 30th pick in this year's draft, making around the same as this kid at Washington. I mean, did they overpay? Of course, but it's what the collective was willing to pay. Now, is that $2 million a year, or is that $2 million over the time he has left?
It's a great question. That is a great
question. It cannot be. CB, what year? Does he have 3 years left?
So his first year, I'm not totally sure if it was a red shirt or not, but it's technically year 4 as a student athlete coming up.
They might be hitting him with the whole 2
to 3 years.
Thing.
Yeah, here's a little 2 to 3 year deal.
No, I think they may be. If he's in his 4th year and maybe on his way to the NBA, I think this is a 2024 salary of $2 million.
Good luck to you.
Whew.
Good luck to you. Well, they're trying to buy their way back to the tournament. There's a lot of money in television, I heard. All right, we'll get to it. Speaking of money in television, there is one guy that will make so much, the most ever in NFL history, to talk about the game. How good will he be, and what game will he be calling first? We'll let you know next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Score a goal with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the checking account that rewards you for supporting the crew. Learn more at pathwayscu.com. Pathways Financial Credit Union, official credit union of the Columbus Crew, federally insured by NCUA.
FC Series presents Premier League giants Manchester City versus Chelsea. Don't miss the chance to see these great teams live at Ohio Stadium. Get your tickets now at fcseries.com.
Since 1950, Sears Heating and Cooling has been your Central Ohio HVAC expert. Founded by Johnny Sears when gas was just 27 cents a gallon, we're still at the top of our game with thousands of perfect customer reviews. Let Sears Heating and Cooling ensure your AC unit is ready to battle the summer heat ahead. Schedule your AC maintenance today and spring new life into your existing AC unit. From U8 to the Ville, enjoy the local pricing advantage of doing business with your neighbors at Sears. SearsHeatingCooling.com.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. You know what Rich is up to? He's got Memorial Day sales going all month long. Interest rates starting as low as 1.90% on the 2024s. The Civic LX sedan, the Accord LX sedan, and CRV LX two-wheel drives. And he's going to throw you an extra $1,000 for your trade. He wants to give you the best deal in town, and you will not be disappointed. Germain Honda of Dublin is my Honda dealer in Central Ohio, and hopefully yours on Sawmill Parkway, just south of 270.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
You walk into your bathroom every morning and every night, so why not have it be something great? Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. You've been thinking about it, so do it. Let my friends at the Bath Authority transform yours into whatever you envision. With the Bath Authority, every unit can be custom built by you with the premium accents and accessories that you want. And it can all be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. And right now, the Bath Authority is giving you $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and here's to Ohio Mulch celebrating 40 years of making the community a greener and more beautiful place, one garden at a time. Don't miss out on the opportunities to elevate your outdoor space and to be part of a journey towards the next 40 successful years. Check out our promotions online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply. Cleaner, greener, better.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are pretty soggy right now. We'll get a brief break as we head into lunchtime. Temperatures climbing under cloudy skies at that point. We'll see highs this afternoon reach the lower 70s. Columbus topping out at 72 degrees. Showers and thunderstorms return this evening and continue overnight. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your Doubleton forecast on The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
Rothman and Ice now not just on your radio.
You're darn right about that, my friend, because The Fan is now on YouTube. Watch your favorite shows live and check out the videos and YouTube shorts that we have ready for you. How do you find us? I'm going to tell you how right now. Head to YouTube and search 97.1 The Fan. And don't forget, folks, go ahead and subscribe to The Fan's new YouTube channel. Good stuff we got cooking up right now here at The Fan.
Yeah, it's fun. Just stare into that camera and smile.
Hi, Mom.
Exactly.
Do that a lot.
Yeah, right. Now, and by the way, Mama Hayes now can.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, how great is that now?
Oh,
I just thought about that.
Sit up.
That's amazing. Yes.
Fix your hat.
Straighten.
Get a haircut.
Straighten your back.
It's all coming from Mama Hayes. Love you.
That's awesome. All right, so a couple things here. We do have a Monday Night Football game to announce, and it's kind of funny the way these are rolled out. We got the Chiefs to open the Super Bowl defense against your Ravens. And now I believe we have the Monday Nighter.
Week 1, baby.
Week 1. Tell them what it is, Maddie. Tell them what they've won.
We got the Jets, Jets, taking on Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm here for it. Fun little matchup. Got to be a little spooky day for A-Rod, right? I mean, he was out there for, a handful of plays before he popped his Achilles, and that's all we saw from him. I couldn't believe it when I was watching the game, but yeah, this one's a good one on paper right here. When you talk about all the weapons the Niners have on offense, going up against what I think is going to be a good Jets defense, but the story is Aaron Rodgers and what the heck he's going to look like at this age.
I'm glad you brought up the kind of spooky part of it because this is the second straight year he's opened up on Monday Night Football. Last one didn't go so hot.
Yeah.
So I agree with you that he may have just wanted to kind of slide in on a regular weekend when they open against the Bills.
There's also another theme is that Leonard Floyd, who had the sack on the play, plays for those 49ers.
Oh, no. See, that's mentally, you're in a very funky spot there. It'd be like, AR, if you were a hitter, right? And, a pitcher clunked you in the dome.
Big hitter, the llama.
And you got clunked in the dome, and then the first game of next season was that same pitcher throwing at you?
Like John Kruk batting against Randy, the big unit Johnson.
Yeah, that's
he's stepping into that bucket.
Yeah, but I got a little banger on paper right here. I like it.
You know what's weird? I didn't remember this.
Yeah.
The Jets went on to win that game last year.
Because didn't Garrett Wilson catch a crazy touchdown, I think, where he tipped it to himself or something? That was on 9/11, right? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just a very emotional day out of the gate with obviously that history there, unfortunately for us. And then the A-Rod thing happened, and it was just like, wow, just emotions all over the place.
He's got to like this, though, in the other respect of that he grew up in Chico. He went to Cal Berkeley, like playing out there would be cool. So, but it's not a soft opener for them. I mean, when you think about the 49ers and the heartbreaking loss they had in the Super Bowl, where if they stop a fourth down, they're the champs. And so, it's a return to San Francisco for Robert Saleh. That's the other part of it, CB.
It's a good call.
Who was their defense coordinator, before taking the job with the Jets. So it's funny because he and Shanahan are pretty close. And this will be his first game against his old team.
His old boss, right? He's the DC out there.
Yeah.
I like to call him Xerxes from 300. He looks exactly like that villain from that movie. You ever into the 300 movies? They do anything for you?
I haven't.
300 is really good. I think you would like those. The second one was, it was okay. But 300 right out of the gate, get one of those opening scenes where he kicks the dude down, and it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. If you ever see it, I highly suggest that. But some funny, some good storylines, infused into this game here, and two teams that could be duking it out late in the year if they find themselves in the postseason.
The other deal is this way too staged kind of, yes, he already knew it, but let's act like he didn't know it. Little promotion of Tom Brady's NFL broadcast debut. Strahan broke it to him.
I know you've been waiting to call your first game. Yeah. And I got a little something for you, man. I got some big news. It's huge news because I have a little something that you don't even know. The NFL schedule isn't out yet, but I know a little something about your first game.
Are you going to tell me?
Maybe I will. You want to know?
I want to know.
You want to know?
Damn right I want to know.
All right, drum roll, please. For the first time in 5 years, the NFL on Fox opens with the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be your first game.
A live studio audience.
Thing, week 1 is back to being an exclusive doubleheader window for Fox. So how do you like that news? You get to the Cowboys first week.
Amazing. Obviously, having the Cowboys on is a huge draw. As America's team, that's going to get a little hard for me to say that all the time. I understand they were the competition for a long time. But in this new role, I know the Cowboys, how important they are to this network. They got great storylines. Come on, Dak Prescott. Let's see if he can finally come through. One of the great defensive players. Did that just slip out? Micah Parsons, what a great player he is, and Coach McCarthy. So I love covering them. I've been obviously going against them for a long time, and now I get to tell everyone how great they are.
First of all, was there like a laugh meter that flashed or something? Like that's, by the way, I don't understand the echo, the live studio audience, all that. Today, I consider my.
What was this? What show was that?
It was on Fox. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it, and it was a Fox, NFL on Fox type of deal. I don't know whether it's just for social with a live.
Who knows?
Audience.
Yeah, Tom's acting skills not great in that because obviously
of course he knew
what he was doing.
Are you gonna tell me?
I would have been in the crowd like, "Hey, Mike, who are they playing? What team are the Dallas Cowboys playing?" But now we know.
That's amazing. Absolutely. And I love him. And so I feel like. It was really almost like they were doing it for a third grade classroom.
Yeah, it was a little
corny. Hey, class, we're going to be watching the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I mean, if you're Strahan and Brady, I mean, you might want to. They are playing somebody.
Yeah, let us know.
By the way, I don't even care if Dallas was playing anybody. How do you not mention the opponent?
Yeah, that was a dropping.
It's a game.
Yeah.
It's not a practice. We're talking practice.
There you go, AI.
Like, I don't understand that. Honestly, that's the biggest fumble from Strahan and Brady. And I guess I don't even want to put it on Brady completely.
Strahan's
setting that up.
Yeah,
you're going to be calling the Cowboys Browns. What do you think? Yes. Give us some first thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're getting paid $37.5 million a year to not play. We're not talking about playing.
Just talk, baby.
We're talking about being in the booth.
Yeah, man.
And so it just seemed a little elementary to me. Now, smart guy. We know that. Whether he can articulate it in the booth, we'll see. He's got some people that he needs to live up to with the Romos and the Aikmans and these guys that have been doing it for a while. Collinsworth, guys that really are proven in the business. And so I don't know if they're going to get their money's worth. I mean, he's going to be there. A lot of people really started to like Greg Olsen. A lot of people did.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, right. He's not Tom Brady. So you could realize why they went, wow, we got Tom.
Name brand. Yeah.
And so, people are going to want to see him and hear from him.
That's tough.
And
they are.
how critical is he going to be of the players and the calls and the coaches?
Yeah. He's already taking shots at Dak. Dak caught a stray right there. So I think he's going to be okay with maybe criticizing when he needs to. Like, that was a little eye-opening there. I mean, he's right in what he's saying, even though this isn't the portion of the schedule where everybody wants Dak to prove things. It's way later in the calendar that people want to see that from him, but that was pretty interesting. And then the crowd did pick up on that. And he's like, "Oh, did that just slip out? Come on, Tom. You knew what you were doing."
Yeah, but here's
big
the
dog.
deal. I almost feel like I'm giving the crowd too much credit. Like, I wonder if they were tipped off. Like, the whole thing felt scripted to me. Like, laugh now.
You don't think anything Tom does is authentic. I'm picking this up now. CB, you picking this up?
Not just
with
Tom.
The roast. Now this.
I'm not buying it, man.
I'm not. I thought that was authentic because he kind of picked up on, the crowd actually just responded to something I said. So I guess, did that just slip out? Like, yeah, you knew what you did when you said his name. Like, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, and
I don't think
but you don't get to the funny line of, did I just let that slip out, unless the audience gets the laugh.
I don't think this is like a Friends episode where they're hitting the laugh button and having the people like
laugh track.
Yeah, the cue cards. Like, go ahead. I don't think that was the case.
Let's make Tommy feel welcome.
But I'll tell you what, though.
Tommy like Laffy.
Fun game out of the gate for the Brownies. Yeah. Very fun game out of the gate for the Brownies.
We got a guy next who will talk about it. His name is Ben Axelrod, who covers everything Cleveland up there for Awful Announcing. We'll talk to him next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency, just another way to give your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help you save money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert, and I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. But that's not just a slogan. It's the Care creed, not Creed the band. Yeah! It's the way they live their life and the way they strive to be remembered by you, the customer, at the end of every interaction with Care. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
This offer is only available at Reichert Ford. 0% financing for 72 months on every 2023 Ford F-150 in stock. Take advantage of Reichert's rate before it's too late. Lock in your 0% rate and take a new truck home today. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Exclusively at Reichert Ford. 0% for 72 months is now available on every new 23 F-150 in stock. Hundreds of trucks at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Listen up, gamers. Mountain Dew has always been your go-to for a refreshing citrus kick. Now it's also your go-to for gaming rewards. With Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards, you just look for codes under the caps of specially marked 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew. Enter those codes online to bank points, and then redeem them for awesome gaming gear. Everything from gift cards, game copies, controllers, consoles, custom Mountain Dew gaming gear, and more. Join Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards now.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at mountaindewgaming.com and it's 1525. Voter prohibited.
The Fan is your home for NBA playoff action. Catch every game of the conference finals and NBA finals on The Fan and ESPN Columbus. How does one listen to such magical things? On the Fan app, silly. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. Do it.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
No one funks up the work microwave like these two. Fish again? You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, efforting our guy, Ben Axelrod from Awful Announcing. CB will give me the thumbs up when Benjamin is on hold. And he is. On the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Ben, it's great to have you back. How you been?
I've been great. Thanks for having me.
Nice. We're going to get the big schedule release here this week. We've got some leaks already, so we kind of know. But we already knew, Ben, that the Brownies have, I believe, if you go on analytics, the strongest strength of schedule this year based on who they play. They've got a tough home slate. They got 6 teams that finished 500 or better. 5 of the 8 are against teams that made the playoffs last year, and then got some fun home games against the Chiefs, Dolphins, Cowboys, all at Brown Stadium. Give me your feeling on Deshaun and the weight and pressure he will carry this year and whether he will answer that call.
Yeah, that's really the $240 million question, just because we don't know what to expect from Deshaun, and that's kind of been the story of the Browns for the last 2 seasons. Heading into this one is you had that first season where you're not sure what you're going to get when he comes back from having the 2021 season off, and then the suspension to open the 2022 season, and then he didn't play all that well once he did get on the field, and then you have the question of, well, what kind of Deshaun are you going to get in 2023? And then it winds up being injury-plagued season, and when he was on the field, it was very up and down. And then heading into this year, he's coming off a really serious shoulder injury, which is always a serious injury when it comes to a quarterback and his throwing shoulder. So I don't know how anybody could reasonably say, for better or worse, what they can expect from Deshaun Watson. Based on what we've seen the last two seasons, I'd probably err on the side of him not being a top-tier quarterback, but we also saw flashes last year where he still was that Pro Bowl caliber player. So it's really, I don't know how anybody could handicap it, but it's really a fascinating question for a team that, I think largely has one of the better rosters in the NFL at this point.
So, Ben, I think if you're a Browns fan, you got to feel good about knowing that, hey, at least up top, you've got two really good pass catchers, and one in that tight end room, and Njoku, and then Amari Cooper as your number one right now on paper. But I want to get your thoughts on the Jerry Jeudy addition. Kind of had a murky time there in Denver, and now Cleveland clearly believes in him with the money that they gave him out of the gate. Your thoughts on what he could mean to this Browns offense this year?
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of a year ago when they acquired Elijah Moore, who's, this guy who was a super talented prospect coming out of college, and then he landed in a spot in the NFL where, for whatever reason, the production wasn't there, but you still saw glimpses of the talent. I think more so with Jerry Jeudy, you saw that talent in Denver, and it's certainly fair to question how much of his lack of production had to do with what was going on with Russell Wilson at the quarterback position. But he's another guy who, the metrics are all there, the talent is all there. It's just a matter of putting it together. But I do think that acquisition just kind of helps fill out that room to where now, you have kind of a natural pecking order where you have Amari Cooper and David Njoku, as your de facto 1 and 2, and then you have kind of a drop off with Jerry Jeudy, and then you have another drop off with guys like Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman. So it's just another body, another talented player. But that's another big question is how much is he going to be able to contribute? Can he live up to that first round potential that he had coming out of Alabama a few years ago?
Ben Axelrod with us, awful announcing on Rothman and Ice here. So, of the Cowboy-Browns opener, what is your favorite storyline as far as Prescott versus Deshaun? You got Amari Cooper playing against his old team versus Diggs, Garrett versus Parsons, Lamb versus Ward. What's your favorite one? What's your headline?
I think my favorite, as somebody who works at a sports media website, is Tom Brady making his debut in the booth. I think that's actually pretty. That's going to be kind of an interesting fact in NFL history. Is where did Tom Brady make his announcing debut? It's going to be Cleveland, Ohio. So I actually think that really speaks to how high profile this matchup is. You have obviously the Cowboys, who are a perennial national power when it comes to eyeballs and attention, and then you have the Browns, who have a really national fan base, and were a playoff team a year ago and have a lot of intriguing players and a big question mark at quarterback. So I think that if you just look at this through the prism of this being Fox's biggest game week one, and the game where they're having Tom Brady make his debut in the booth, I think it kind of just speaks to the spectacle that this season opener and home opener for the Browns is going to be.
You sure that he knows that they're playing the Browns? Because when he was notified of it, he was really leaning only into Dallas. He really didn't say they're playing the Browns.
Yeah, I still have my skepticism that he even wants to be calling football games. I think you look at the way the last two seasons have charted. I'm not sure how much sense it makes for him to be in the booth. There's been a lot of questions as to whether he'll ultimately get there. But here we are, 4 months away, and he's getting closer and closer. So it looks like it's going to happen. But yeah, it definitely seems like he was leaning into the Cowboys aspect of this game more than the Browns aspect.
I want to switch gears with you a little bit and talk a little sports entertainment, because I know you're a big wrestling fan, and the city of Cleveland has a great event coming up in August in SummerSlam. Just talk about what you think that could mean for the city, and kind of a two-parter, Ben, is the final boss, a.k.a. The Rock, going to make an appearance in Cleveland?
Yeah, it's pretty cool because WWE, really the last few years, and I'd say especially since the merger with UFC late last year, they've really started to eventize these pay-per-views or premium live events, as they call them. And, it used to be, a city would host a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania, and that was it. But really what happens, and I was at WrestleMania in Philadelphia this year, they take over the entire city. And it's not just a one-day thing. It's really a full weekend thing. They turn it into a destination for wrestling fans. And really, they do it multiple times a year. But I'd say Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam, those are the three big ones. So for Cleveland to get one of them, I think is really, really cool. WWE's going to come over, totally take over the city and have a huge event at Cleveland Brown Stadium. As far as The Rock, I do not think we're going to get The Rock in Cleveland. It seems like The Rock's kind of out of the picture until the build to WrestleMania next year. I'm wondering if we'll get even Roman Reigns, because Roman has not been on the posters or any of the promotional materials for SummerSlam just yet. It's mainly been Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul and Jade Cargill and some of their more regular talents. So, I kind of thought we might get a Cody Rhodes-Logan Paul match in Cleveland with Logan Paul being from Cleveland, but it looks like we're getting that in Saudi Arabia in a few weeks. So I'm really kind of curious what direction they'll go in here for SummerSlam in August.
Give you a final one, Ben. Listen, I'm not trying to bury the Cavs. I'm just trying to be a realist here. If we forward a little bit to the draft, what should please Cavs fans in the draft with finally actually having a first-round pick this year?
Bronny James. This is like as bad of a draft class as there's been in recent memory, probably going back to 2013 when Anthony Bennett was the number one overall pick. I think it says a lot that Bronny James, who's like a fringe second-round prospect, is probably the most famous prospect in this year's class. So I don't know about the draft. I don't know, if the Cavs will trade their pick or stay put, but I do think this is going to be a really interesting offseason for Cleveland in terms of, if Donovan Mitchell signs his extension, and then if he doesn't sign his extension, how do you kind of proceed from there? And then you obviously have the questions about J.B. Bickerstaff's future, Kobe Altman's future. And I think we can all kind of see the writing on the wall for how this Celtics series is about to play out. So I think there's definitely some big questions for the Cavs to answer here in these weeks ahead.
All right, my man, always great to reconnect. Be well. Hopefully we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Ben Axelrod, awful announcing on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, speaking of Bronny, his daddy was back in the land, and it had everybody kind of unifying into a certain message. We'll tell you about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. It's springtime, and you know what that means? It means berry season, the fresh, delicious berries, and there's no better place to get them than, you guessed it, Bob Evans and their delicious farmhouse kitchen. They have a number of berry salads there that you're going to love. The summer berry salad, which I love, the red, white, and blueberry farmer's choice. And you know what's fantastic? They start at $6.99 with that red, white, and blueberry hotcakes. Who doesn't love that? With the delicious toppings. They've got them for dine-in, carry-out, delivery. Check them out at bobevans.com.
New 2024, up to 72 months Aria, up to 36 months Rogue, and 6/3/24.
Reichert Nissan has an announcement to make. 0% financing is now available for up to 72 months. Take a Reichert Nissan Aria home today and pay 0% for 72 months. But that's not all. Reichert Nissan also has 0% financing on Rogue 2. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
With approved credit. Residency restrictions apply. Offers cannot be combined. Dealer contribution affects consumer cost.
Are you experiencing brain fog or difficulty building muscle? Feeling irritable and lacking energy? It might not be just your busy lifestyle. Many men worldwide suffer in silence from low testosterone. But there's hope. Introducing testosterone replacement therapy from Precision Health and Wellness. Imagine waking up with renewed vigor and confidence. Visit ChoosePrecisionHealth.com or call now to schedule a consultation. Reclaim your vitality today with testosterone replacement therapy from Precision Health and Wellness.
The nightmare of the cleared drain. Those drain clearing specials from the other guys seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean.
Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. It's done right the first time, so that nightmare of a drain becomes a dream come true. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call 614-232-2222 to get started.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Always at the forefront of new technology, Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies.
Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services, even for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected. Afflicted. No, affected was right.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters ASE technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye. Adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 20 or more select self-leveling underlayment. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 2 or more packs of 360 Trex Universal Hidden Fasteners. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
From St. Vincent, St. Mary High School in Akron, Ohio, number 23, LeBron James!
A standing ovation.
The king was back,
for
baby.
The favorite son. And by the way, we did not turn back the clock 14, 15 years. That was last night.
I was going to say, did he take Donovan Mitchell's spot in the starting lineup? That's what it sounded like.
One-day contract?
Oh, man.
Oh, you know, that's it, man.
Get after the Celtics.
Baby. All right, so they were down 2 impact players, the big one being Donovan Mitchell, as you say. Jared Allen obviously was pretty crucial. They trailed 2-1, and so now they're in big trouble. We get that. And it was a weird game because I give them a lot of credit for pulling off what they did. It didn't seem like that was even possible. It felt like at one point, every time they were down, they kept fighting back. Mobley was good. They had, they just had a lot. Garland was very good. He kept bringing it as well as he could. They did not get he went all Rick Carlisle talking about the refs. And Cavs didn't get the benefit, I thought, of a call on a 3 at the buzzer to end the third. Like, it looked like Merrill looked like he definitely got hit on the hand. We saw the replay. When Holiday came by him, there was a no call. And I don't know why Greg Anthony was saying, like, why the refs would be happy with, if they looked at it. Because when I looked at it again, I thought that was a crushing blow because they were down 10 after 3. Maybe he hits all 3 and they're down 7. Who knows? But the run they went on late in that game, that 8-0 run, the pair of threes, no timeout for Boston, and all of a sudden you're down 5 with 3 to go. Mm-hmm. That was as stealable of a game as I've ever seen. Yeah. Something that I never even thought was even a prayer when they got down 15 with 7 to go.
It was an uphill climb going into the game, no doubt, with just all the injury stuff that they're dealing with. But you look, for me, one of the big things was Isaac and Karras. Between those two guys, they didn't shoot it well from three. Isaac 0 of 4. He's been a guy that can knock down a couple of those corner threes throughout the year. And then Karras was 1 of 8. Like that, it was just one of those things that after the game last night, I was thinking about, man, those guys get a couple more of those to go down, and then you never know what you could look like coming out on the other side. But you mentioned it. Darius was really good. They got some good efforts elsewhere, but just those two guys and their three-point shooting with the volume of shots that they put up from three, they weren't very efficient there.
Well, the balance was Horford decided to miss everything he put up, so...
I mean, he's an old man at this point.
He is, but that's all he's supposed to be able to do.
I know.
Is spot up with nobody on him and make one or two.
It's just crazy that he's still playing in the NBA. And I know he has to start right now because of the Porzingis injury, but, man, you just remember years and years ago where he was going back-to-back at Florida with the Gators, and now still here. Here he is still playing at a pretty high level, even though, it was a rough night for the OG last night.
So LeBron got the huge ovation and the tribute in a return to Cleveland. It was kind of weird because he's still an active player. He's not retired. And so he last played, when did he last play for them, man?
His first year in L.A., I believe, was 2018.
Yeah. And so he shows up with his wife, Savannah, and his agent, Rich Paul, and they go courtside.
Where was Adele, though? Come on, get Adele. What's Adele doing? She can't be that busy. Rich, get your girl.
Yeah, I was more mesmerized by Savannah's fur hat in May inside. Now, it wasn't high enough where you'd be upset you were sitting behind them because those pretty good seats, but that was a little odd. But it had everybody thinking, all right, why is he there? It's hometown hero, right? 2 stints with the Cavs, brought him their only title in 2016. And the standing O, from the time he walked in to the end, they had their guy.
It's his house.
And so he kind of blew a kiss back to the crowd. And there were rumors that there have been rumors that he could go back to Cleveland to finish out his career, just bookend the whole thing. And I read enough stuff where it said this might be a sign that's a real possibility. Before you comment on that, let's hear from Brian Windhorst on it.
All the executives league are all in Chicago. It's one big giant rumor mill in there. And I got executives sending me, multiple of them, my own meme back to me, going, what's going on in Cleveland? And so I had to try to find out what's going on in Cleveland. So, okay, here's what I am told. I am told that the reason LeBron and Savannah were there was because they were there for Mother's Day, seeing their mother on Sunday, decided to stay for a game on Monday. They were the guests of Dan Gilbert. Dan Gilbert, the Cavs owner, rolled out the red carpet for them. And before the game, Rich Paul called the Lakers and said, FYI, LeBron's going to be coming to the Laker game. So conceptually, this wasn't some sort of message. Realistically, of course, LeBron knows it was going to be received as a message. Now, there's a few things going on. Some of them I'm going to dismiss, but I'll go over them. One, the Lakers are in head coaching search. I don't think LeBron is looking to have an active role in that search. He's never looked to have an active role, no matter what anybody might assume. I'm going to strike that from the list. He's going to, I believe, opt out of his contract next month, but I don't think there's much pressure here. I think the Lakers will probably agree to whatever contract he wants. They may not love it if he wants 3 years. I don't think that's an issue, so I'm going to strike that off the list.
Does he want to win? Because if he wants to win still, again, or have a place where he can win, it just doesn't seem like this is the... I know they'd love to bring him back to the hometown, right? A third time, but wouldn't he rather pick a really just the roster of his choice?
I think if he does opt out, I think maybe higher on his list would possibly be Philadelphia. But I think the breadcrumbs that I'm going to follow in this are, one, his opt-out, which Wendy said probably will happen, and two, does Donovan Mitchell sign an extension in Cleveland? Because if he does, then I believe there is a basketball vision for LeBron to come home. Because then you start to go down the road of you got Darius, you got Donovan, you got myself. Could we flip Jared Allen maybe and get some more shooters around here, put Evan Mobley at the 5, which some people believe is his natural position. So I think in his mind, you could see how he could craft a basketball world to say, we could be highly competitive with me here if we could flip a couple pieces there. So listen, I know that's the message that they wanted out there, that he was there for Mother's Day and all that stuff, but that's the on the surface thing. I think there's always some basketball business going on, and especially when he mentioned Dan Gilbert in that clip, that he was their guest. And you know, between the history that those guys have there as well. So
if he wanted to sit courtside, I guess that had to happen. Well, he could have been in a suite anyway.
He could have. Yeah. He could have. But I'm not putting to bed that this could be a possibility with him coming home, because I think the level of basketball will be good enough if if he knows Donovan Mitchell's staying in Cleveland.
Yeah. You start thinking about, was this more a leverage play against the Lakers? Like, let me show up. It's, you know what I mean? Well,
he's going to get his money from them regardless because they're not going to want him to leave. So I don't know how much. I hear what you're saying, but he's in a spot where if they lose him, then they're in a very tough spot. So he's money and all that stuff from LA. He knows that's coming. But I do think he may have one eye elsewhere, especially back maybe in the Eastern Conference, to say, what could I do back in a conference that I dominated for a long time?
Well, I like your Sixers comment because they are just, they have to get Embiid a title. Like, you just can't waste him. And I feel like you've got him and Maxey. You feel like, so I like that. The other one would be maybe this Thunder team, depending on how far they go. When you have SGA and you could bring him in to help that guy get launched.
I just wonder would he want to bet on the young guys? That's all. Because the talent is there, but at this point in his career, would he want to maybe have to pull along a team that's really young? Now, you talk about rocking out with SGA and flipping some of those young pieces and bringing in another star, then I think the vision for him would become a little bit more clear.
And Bronny here's the deal. I would think to myself he's going to get overdrafted because anybody that gets him may think they get the Faja with him. But then the other thing is Clutch Sports might say, wait a minute. All you guys, we'll let the unacceptable teams know who they are.
I'll hit you with a team because this is the only team that I think would maybe tempt him that's picking in the top 10 to 15 in the draft is San Antonio. He's got an awesome relationship with Pop. They've got Victor Wembanyama, and there's a lot of smoke out there that maybe they trade for a star in Trae Young. They get that in order with Bronny, then maybe San Antonio, but I still don't see it. And he's gotten it out there to all these reporters that he's not, he doesn't have to play with Bronny. Like, he's made that clear now, that's kind of been put to bed as well.
Has it really, though? I'm just wondering whether
it's Wendy and all these guys Shams are reporting it now that he's saying that I don't have to play with Bronny.
I think he's also trying to help his kid. Let me take a little pressure off this guy a little bit. Let him be his own guy for a second. We'll see. All right, when we come back, SportsCenter update here, top of the hour. Trey Hendrickson back at work, but what's the mindset? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Some people just know the more you protect, the more you save with Allstate. Because they know insurance math. Like if you protect your home and auto, Allstate can save you up to 25%. So it's like losing money if you don't bundle. Save more when you protect more. Bundle home and auto with Allstate today.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
There's a little slice of heaven in a country road's escape. Pure perfection in the form of uncrowded nature. Over 1.5 million acres of parks and public lands. From mountain biking to stargazing. Churning white water to quiet trout streams far off the grid. Almost heaven is down to earth in West Virginia. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
Skyline now has Coney kits with everything you need to build and serve 24 delicious cheese conies. They're perfect for watch parties, birthdays, or any fun gathering. Call ahead and order your Coney kit today at participating Skyline locations while supplies last.
If you're about to get engaged or ready to walk down the aisle, your true love deserves a true jeweler, the Diamond Seller. As a true jeweler, we not only have designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. Visit the Diamond Seller today.
When it comes to getting a new roof, are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Whether residential or commercial, Schottenstein Roofing meets the needs of every customer. From roof installation and repair to siding and gutters, you name it, we do it. Call Schottenstein Roofing, 614-321-8888 to schedule your free inspection today. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Because comfort keeps us going. So grab your family, your friends, and your Wrangler layers. for some fresh air adventures together. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Full NFL schedule gets released tomorrow night at 8. We do know, though, that the Browns will start their season at home hosting the Dallas Cowboys. The game will mark Tom Brady's broadcasting debut on Fox. We also know that week 2, the Bengals will travel to Kansas City to face the Chiefs at 4:25. NBA playoffs tonight. The Knicks host the Pacers at 8. Then at 10:30, the Nuggets host the Timberwolves. Both of those series tied at 2 games each. NHL, Florida looks to eliminate Boston at 7, and Edmonton hosts Vancouver at 9:30. The Canucks lead that series 2-1. The Cleveland Guardians play Game 2 of their series with the Rangers down in Texas at 8:05. Ben Lively heads to the mound for Cleveland. The Reds in Arizona facing the Diamondbacks at 9:40. Hunter Green gets the start for Cincy. This one brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. BMI has been voted Best Credit Union 6 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit BMIFCU.org.
Both of these guys wear baseball hats every day, and it's because their hair is sewn into them. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, here we go. Second hour. Jordan Dajani, CBS NFL reporter, coming up bottom of the hour. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to face the Cincinnati Bengals at Arrowhead in week 2.
Okay.
So that makes back-to-back home games against tough opponents for them to kick off the season, right?
Yeah, man. It's either it could put them in a bit of a hole in the AFC, considering that I think the Bengals and Ravens will probably be in the postseason, or that could be one thing, a great data point for them later in the year when we talk about seeding and home field and all of those things. But yeah, right out of the gate, the league is absolutely testing the champs for sure.
That's the good point, is that they're playing the pair of AFC big boys to start versus last year when they lost to the Lions out of the gate in the opener. It was an NFC game. You didn't have a couple of your big players. Nobody likes to lose, but it wasn't as impactful.
Right.
And so when, it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, last season the Chiefs were, let's see. Well, off their buys, they were 2-0. They lose to Detroit in the season opener. So they beat Jacksonville on the road after that 10 days off. And then they beat the Broncos at home on Thursday in week 6. The Chargers faced them week 7. So it looks like, what's interesting is the Mahomes and the Chiefs have a 4-3 record coming off that mini bye. What I mean is the 10 days off rest following a Thursday nighter. So that'll be interesting. The Chiefs haven't lost a Thursday game and the following game on 10 days rest since Spagnuolo became their DC in 2019.
He's a beast, man. He's a beast of a defensive play caller, and their defense is probably going to be really good again. I'm really happy that we don't have to wait for this game. Because remember, that was my big beef last year, is that they had that game in week 17. Right. And you just know how brutal this sport is. Getting all the star players to that point of the schedule with a clean bill of health, it's almost impossible. Now, look, we've seen, especially with a guy like Joey B, unfortunately, it can be training camp. It could be preseason, anything. But I like that we're close to the beginning of the season with the chance of two of the best quarterbacks going at it. Andy Reid, a legendary head coach, going up against Zach Taylor, a head coach trying to really establish a name for himself right now. And you got two teams, honestly, that don't really like each other, because for Kansas City, they look at the Bengals as maybe the biggest threat of all the AFC teams, just based off of the history and the record that Joe Burrow and company have against Mahomes and the Chiefs. So this should be a banger of a game, and it's going to be fun to see all the different draft picks and how they play a factor into this one. But just on the surface, Mahomes, Burrow, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that early on in the season.
Yeah, if I'm a Cincinnati fan, I'm kind of hoping for Kansas City to beat Baltimore in two ways. One, I don't want Kansas City coming off a loss where they're really desperate, and I also want them to beat the Ravens if you're Cincinnati. So you really could get kind of a double wish if you're Cincinnati that, okay, you handed one of our biggest rivals a loss to start the year, and we get you not coming off where, the sky is falling. Could Kansas City be 0-2? Like that would probably exist. So we're going to wait for the rest of the schedule. That doesn't come out until Wednesday.
Tomorrow night, baby.
8 o'clock. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Is this the best rivalry in the league right now?
Cincinnati. Well, it's the team that's been able to take him down in the playoffs, right?
Just thinking, does this have the most smoke around it right now in the NFL? Obviously, you'll always have the historic ones, but sometimes
Packers is the oldest.
The historic ones, like right now. Now, there may be a chance that really pops off here after this year with Caleb and Jordan Love and company, but I'm just thinking, Chiefs Bengals might be.
Recently, it is. If you had to rank them right now in recent history, actually, when you think about the obvious ones, and you talked about them, Browns, Ravens, that kind of thing. That's about as bitter as it gets. I mean, even Steelers Ravens is
that's a nasty one right there.
Beyond nasty. Yeah. I did like the 49ers and the Seahawks had something going for a little bit, right?
Talk about with the LOB
and
3
to 4 years, like 10 years. That was there.
Oh, because we got in that's when it really gets hot and heavy is when you have divisional teams that meet in the postseason, and they met in an NFC championship game. Right? And that was, I think, the Richard Sherman walk-off with you put a receiver like Crabtree on me. That's the result you're going to get. That was very bitter there. Am I remembering that correctly?
I didn't like that.
NCAA, you were not a fan of that. But Aaron Andrews, she asked the questions, and he
got the soundbite.
He got hot emotion right after the game. But it was a heck of a play by Richard Sherman. But you're right, because Crabtree and Sherman couldn't stand each other. Those teams were really, really good. You had Pete Carroll and Harbaugh as head coaches. So that was a really, really good divisional matchup where they met with almost everything on the line.
It seems like all the NFC East teams hate each other. So you get that going. I mean, you get,
But they haven't been very good. Recently, Washington, the Giants.
Philly's move recently has brought a lot of of hatred going there. I think, listen, Dallas and Philly, that rivalry is wild. I think there have been a lot of things that have happened in that rivalry. I do like the fact that you're getting – listen, Belichick was coaching. Patriots-Jets was pretty massive at times. But, I mean, you're getting – look at what the NFC North has done now. I mean, Bears, Lions, Packers, all those are going to be really good. If they're just
super fresh. They're super fresh. And one of my favorite from back in the day, we were talking Tom Brady, was whenever Tom and Peyton linked up. Colts and Patriots for a while with those guys, just legendary figures at the most important position. Both of them were right there in their prime with elite playmakers and really good defenses. Those were some games, man. That was much watched TV, was Colts Pats for a little bit of time in the AFC.
There's a whole different. I'm glad you brought this up because the best divisional rivalries are clearly different than the best non-divisional rivalries, right? The divisional rivalries speak for themselves, right? Those are there. Those will always be there. But some of the looking at the standings right now, I like when the Cowboys meet the Packers. I think that's a good non-divisional. The 49ers Cowboys to me is
always works.
That's right there.
That always works
because they've always met in the playoffs. They had all those conference championships. No other teams would come close to their playoff matchups. Who else would be good? I'm trying to think if I was going to try to get somewhere with Raiders Broncos, but I don't think it's getting there because they're both bad. I think we kind of ranked them pretty well. I don't.
The AFC in the South is ready to blossom with quarterback rivalries, in my opinion, between Trevor, CJ, and Anthony Richardson. And we'll see what Will Levis brings to the table. But I think kind of like the NFC North, right, where you have this young crop of quarterbacks that all have potential. Some of them are more proven than others. But if those teams have found their guys, they're setting up those divisions for a long runway where you're talking 2-4 games a year of some of the best quarterbacks going head to head. That's why I'm super excited about this CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson Colts Texans thing going on, because we played a clip the other day from one of the Colts linebackers to where he wants to smoke with CJ because CJ was talking some trash to him at Radio Row in Las Vegas. So that's another division to me, kind of the way you feel about the NFC North. I think the AFC South has something slow burning right now that could turn into a lot of fun.
CB, bigger rivalry for you: Browns-Ravens, Browns-Steelers, or Browns-Bengals?
Oh, wow. This is a great question. I think for most of my life, I would have said Browns and Steelers, but because of where things are now, it's Browns-Bengals, especially with the online involvement in that.
He's got some real smoke, some static between the Bengals. He is not a the Twitterverse.
I would say the fan bases online are trending towards more Browns-Bengals in-state rivalry versus. I mean, obviously they don't like the Steelers, but it's not as strong online anymore.
Who do you fear more, Ravens or Bengals?
Wow, that's also a really good question. I'm always just afraid of the X factor that Lamar Jackson is, so I probably default to him.
Yeah. I think that's it, because I agree with him, because you go back, I'm more Steelers Browns. Like, that to me is like that, and I understand the whole history with Baltimore and how their team was birthed and all that.
Right.
But I do feel like you get those two teams together, that I would name the Steelers, since that kind of hits a little closer for me. But he's right. You don't fear them. You fear them the least at this point because of what their quarterback situation is.
That's it. And that's the only reason why. They can turn themselves into a pretty scary team if they can just get some type of just like even average quarterback play, right? Like average. I'm talking, when I mean average, I mean a guy that's not going to turn it over a bunch. He may not hit you with a whole bunch of spectacular plays individually, but their floor is always so safe with Mike Tomlin and that defense and what they have around them. That's going to be one of the most intriguing things to follow this year is who the heck's going to be the guy? Is it Justin or Russ? And whoever is that guy, what level of player they bring to the field? Because both of them, it's been a roller coaster ride the last couple of years.
Doesn't make sense for me. I think they've got to find out what they have in Justin Fields. Russell Wilson isn't their future. He may be better today if I needed to try to compete in a game than Justin Fields, but I'm not even sure of that. I think they have to find out. I think that'd be so foolish if they went ahead and got this guy at a bargain basement price and decided not to give him a shot. It's just when you're talking big picture, like that's it for them. They have to find out whether he's worth paying.
I definitely hear what you're saying, and I absolutely think they're going to give him plenty of opportunity to win the job because financially they're paying Russ nothing. It's pennies in the quarter. Was it less than $2 million, I believe? So, yeah, Justin presents the longest runway for them, and to me, he's got the higher upside. I just can't wait to talk to our guy, Ray Fittipaldo, throughout training camp in a few months when that thing gets rolling to hear about what he's seeing on the grounds, down there in Steelers land, because that's going to be one of the biggest things to follow in training camp this year is the Steelers quarterback battle.
No doubt. All right, guys, I'm talking to you. If you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, could be low T. I want you to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center. For established patients, they do offer the convenience of physician-monitored, self-inject at-home testosterone treatments. They have an average pay of $150 a month, cash pay, including the labs and meds. So if you need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center is going to make it very easy. They'll ship the treatments right to you. So I want you to go to lowtcenter.com now and book your appointment. $25, get your T level tested. You'll get the results in 25 minutes. It's the best deal going, and you want to find out, you've been curious, this is the place to do it. lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. All right, we have a Bengal who went back to work, but is there a chance he might hold out? We'll tell you about it next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
An ex-jock and a very puffy, smooth-faced man. These are the first voices you should hear. Morning Juice. Your wake-up service.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
There was some speed to this.
The sudden roars.
Gauged it just right.
That Sunday celebration.
From Oslo to Ohio, Victor Hovland is the champion.
It's better live. Join us at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, June 3rd through 9th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Big things are happening on the East Side.
We're ready to deal. Come negotiate during May's Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda. Lower payments, better financing, more value for any trade. Take up to $3,000 off new Honda CRVs, up to $5,000 off pilots. We'll work hard to get you a payment you can afford. Now, during May Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference.
See lindsayhonda.com for program details.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, the next 2 are free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years. Restrictions apply. Check them out online, uwd.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Right now, during cheap 4x4 season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for $379 a month for 42 months with $3,837 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial Services. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024. Jeep is a registered trademark.
The Buckeye Show.
How does Aaron Kraft become Aaron Kraft until he does Aaron Kraft things?
Are you swooning right now?
Oh, because of AC? Yeah.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing and Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Hollywood Lights. Set sail with excitement at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Saturday, May 25th, you could be the lucky winner of a 7-day, all-expenses-paid Caribbean cruise for 2. Not a sailor? No problem. Opt for $15,000 in cold hard cash instead. Play your favorite slots and table games throughout May to earn entries. More details at HollywoodColumbus.com. Remember, your adventure awaits at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, Mountain Dew drinkers. It's the Mountain Dew Baja Blast 20th Baja-versary. 20 years of Baja Blast being a Taco Bell fan favorite. To celebrate this year, the tropical lime flavor of Baja Blast is in stores everywhere all year long. 366 days. That's right, it's a leap year. And for a limited time, you can collect coins for a chance to get Baja gear or a Taco Bell deal. The Mountain Dew Baja Blast 20th Baja-versary.
No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of US 18+, subject to official rules at BajaBlast.com and 6/15/24. Void where prohibited.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Spotty showers still sticking around for some spots. Over the next hour or so, we get to see some dry skies. Not a lot of sun. Skies will remain cloudy, but we'll at least have a break from the rain. Temperatures coming back into the 70s. We'll see highs later today reach the lower 70s with widespread heavy rain this afternoon and into the evening. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your Dopplerton forecast on The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
You know, now that we're on YouTube, I asked CB, when do we actually pop back up? Because I like to eat lunch right around 1 o'clock. And so, I don't want to be rude. Eating in front of people while we're doing the show. Would that be rude?
No, I think people understand that, hey, man.
It's lunchtime.
You got a busy... Look, we only have like a few minutes between breaks, and you're zapping a whole frozen meal, and you time this thing out well. You've got kind of this working progress with this where maybe you leave it out all day, some of these frozen meals. That way, when you get to the top of the hour, it may take a minute or two less. So, yeah, you are the frozen meal king over there. What will we fire up
the
today?
Natural defrost.
What we got today?
I threw the box out, so I don't really know, but it looks like some sort of
what it tastes like, at least.
Sticky rice with some chicken and some other things. Not too bad. Trey Hendrickson back in the building, Maddie, and his agent wants a long-term contract, and they want the pay to match the production. However, he had agreed to an extension with a pay bump this time last year. I wonder what was said in that meeting. Like, hey, I'll be back in a year. At least for now, I don't think he's going to hold out, or I don't think that's part of his strategy this summer. But he has requested a trade if he doesn't get a long-term deal. It appears now he's not going to hold out, but who knows?
He's already back. And he talked to, members of the media and talked to, someone who covers the team specifically for the team website yesterday, and he dropped this quote: "This is where separating business and the team is difficult. At what point am I contradicting what I want? Long-term, winning games, all those things are what I want to do here in Cincinnati, and removing myself from the team doesn't help the team." So that's where he's at. And he mentioned some other things and how he thinks his presence can help guys on the second level, help the linebackers, help the guys on the back end, and he's absolutely right. So, it kind of feels like the kid that got mad at his parents, that kind of packed his bag and said, "I'm running away." And then once that emotion wears off, you're like, well, where do I really have to go? Where am I going to eat? Where am I going to shower?
Where are things really going to be better?
I don't have a job. Like that. That's kind of what this feels like to me. So it's really unfortunate because you mentioned his production and where he was a season ago, one of the best sack artists in the sport, top 5, I believe, in the league off the top of my head. In the last 2 to 3 years around the NFL, this guy's really been getting after the quarterback. And I can understand why now he has some regret about the deal he just signed because he's at a point to where this guy's 30 years old. And so this may be your last opportunity to really grab a huge chunk of money. And so you're thinking, okay, when my deal's up, when the new deal he just signed last year, that's going to be up in 2025. I'm going to be 32, 33
through the
years
25
old.
season.
Yes, through the 25 season.
Right.
Thank you. So when I get to that point, I'll be 32, 33 years old. Is the Bengals front office going to look at me at that point and say, we want to commit to him again for another 3 to 4 years at, I don't know, 20 million, 25 million, whatever the number is going to be. So it had to be kind of, I'm sure, a bitter moment this offseason where he sat back and watched some of these D linemen around the sport get a whole bunch of coin. And he's one of those guys that say, well, dang, like numbers wise, I'm one of the best, but financially, they're not paying me like I'm one of the best, but this is the deal he and his agent signed just last year.
So what did you think? You weren't going to be good? So that's it, right? I mean, if you're signing it, the contract, this is like take a regular employee listening to the show today. You work for a regular company and you think you've done a really good job and you went in and asked for a raise.
Yeah.
You worked yourself up all week, practicing in front of the mirror, what were you going to say, memorize it and all that, and you feel like you've got a real strong point. They just looked at you and said, hey, we gave you a raise a year ago that we thought was in line with what we think you should make. Yeah, but I did this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, we'd like to, but we're not in position to do that. And that's what the Bengals have said. This guy signed a 4-year contract worth $60 million, and they gave him some guarantees. They gave him a signing bonus. And then last year when he came back again and they gave him a 1-year extension and, they gave him another $8 million signing bonus and they increased his salary by $5 million. And so now the salary remains the same, I think, as original contract for this year. His cap number, I think, is virtually unchanged. But yeah, we can all understand where he's coming from, especially like you said, you pointed out well, his age and where he is. The timing may not be perfect for him to get massive money right now,
or ever again, massive money
at his age. You may be right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you look around the market and the pass rushers in the league right now, leader in the clubhouse around the NFL, former Buckeye Nick Bosa won a Defensive Player of the Year award. He's $34 million a year. So you start to slide down the scale a little bit. Then it's Josh Allen for the Jaguars, 28. Same thing for Brian Burns, who's now a New York Giant. And then within his own division, he's looking at a guy like TJ Watt, who we know is just an absolute monster as well. He's at $28 million. And then CB's guy, Myles Garrett, is at 25. Yeah. That's the ballpark he probably believes I need to be in. Probably not Nick Bosa numbers. I don't think he believes it. Look, all players are very confident. I get that. But I think with where he is in his career, I'd be shocked if that's what he's looking for. But I would not be shocked at all, AR, if he wanted to come back to the table right now and say, all right, between, let's say, 24 to 28 million is where I need to be, and right now I'm only making 21.
That's it. That's probably the strategy I would advise him, because it sounds like everything's been pretty open and respectful. He said it. He's like, okay, they've been transparent with me. My $21 million average annually, it doesn't rank in the top 10 at my position. So if there are 14 edge rushers that will make more than Hendrickson does this season, then you can understand why he has a beef. But this NFL now is moving so fast as far as guys getting paid and guys leapfrogging guys. We'll get to Goff later, but that's the difference, is you have to be careful that when you sign it, because he could have gambled on himself and not signed the extension, played this thing out, and then had them really right where he may have wanted them. But
just the market changed so quickly around him. It changed so quickly around him.
He's not getting paid nothing. He's just, like I said, he's not in the top 10 at his position, and everyone feels like he's at least produced to that level, and like you said, a lot more. And so that's what he wants. And I get it, but the bad part is he's on a team that really wants to put it together to win. Like he's not a guy like, hey, I'm one of the best players on a team that's 500. You got to keep those guys.
100%, right? And the other part of this, too, is from the front office's perspective, the long-term game they have to play. Because they know that their star wide receiver he's due for a monster deal himself. And so if you forecast down the road, if you're the Brown family and everybody else that makes the decisions down there, if we're paying, let's say, Trey Hendrickson in 2025, 26, and 27, $28 million, what does that do as far as the Jamar Chase deal and other deals that we may make? So just the timing for him is very unfortunate. And at the time where he signed that deal for $21 million, you're thinking, okay, that's respectable. I can rock with that. But then the Bears bring in Montez Sweat and hit him with $24 million. Danielle Hunter goes down to Houston and he gets $24 million. And all these are recent deals that have happened since he signed the dotted line down there in the jungle. So it just sounds like AR, he's realizing what's happened here.
He could make life a little difficult for him if he wants to. Yeah.
But he could also lose a lot of money when we get to July and August and training camp, and those fines really start to rack up a lot, which we know are not cheap fines at all in the NFL when you miss especially those dates on the calendar. So I think he took his dosage of medicine already. And now he's ready to be on board and be a great teammate and go out there and ball out the way we've seen him ball out over the last 2 to 3 years in Cincy.
That's if he's going to, at the end of the day, if he's going to be a pro, be a pro. You said it. He's about to be 30. He's an edge rusher. He's about to be 30, and he might not be in the long-term plans of what they have as the business. He even mentioned that. He goes, he's talked about it being a business. And so the timing's bad. It's not like you can feel... It's not like you really have to feel horrible for him. You can understand where he's coming from. You can understand where they're coming from. Somebody may have to win here. And the Bengals feel like, hey, we're in a good spot. We gave this guy an extension last year. We did. He signed it. He didn't have to. He could have said, you know what, guys, that's not – I'm looking steps down the road, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to be happy with what I've got, and I'll bet on myself, and then we'll see where it lands, and then I can get more out of you. But he took the guarantee. Because – in the NFL in this day and age, injuries and all that, probably smart to do what he did. But now that he comes out the other side healthy and productive, he feels like, wow, I checked both those boxes. I can take another run at them.
It's the game you got to play. It's risky on the other side when you don't sign that deal. But look, $21 million a year, it's really good money.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, that's what I said. It's hard to really feel bad for him. And the other thing Bengal fan is thinking is, hey, don't upset things. We're in a good spot right now. We just got our quarterback back. We're feeling okay.
It's a great sign that he's already back in the building. He doesn't have to be there right now. This isn't mandatory minicamp or anything. So he's showing face right now in a good way.
All right, we'll come back and we'll talk to Jordan Dajani, our friend from CBS Sports that covers the NFL. Kirk Cousins is finally on the record with the whole Penix pick. We'll ask him about that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You probably heard me talk about Dr. Mark Levy's custom-fit oral appliances to help treat sleep apnea and how they are so much better than using those bulky, uncomfortable CPAP machines. Well, I've been talking about it for years, and the FDA just recently announced a recall of over 18 million CPAP masks. Yikes! These CPAP masks, the ones with magnetic headgear clips, can potentially interfere with certain medical devices. Pacemakers, implantable defibrillators, neurostimulators, aneurysm clips. And if that happens, that can cause injuries not only to yourself if you use these masks, but also your partner as well. Sleep apnea is no joke, and as I've been saying, it affects everyone in the home. So if you've been diagnosed with sleep apnea and you can't tolerate your CPAP machine anymore, or, just flat out worried it could possibly do harm to you, that sort of thing, call Dr. Mark Levy today for your custom oral appliance at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's right. Dr. Mark Levy, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Safe Auto Insurance is now Direct Auto Insurance. What's the difference? Basically, the name. Direct Auto offers savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, just like you're used to, which means you never have to make trade-offs when it comes to paying for car insurance. So don't even think about carpooling to work with Talkative Ted. It's time to stop compromising and keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com or call 1-877-GO-DIRECT. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
And right now, get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. It can all be installed in as little as 1 day.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a coach at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. When a client reaches the goal that they've set, they are so proud of themselves. They are so thrilled with how they look and how they feel. They are ready to take on the next thing. And that's one thing about weight loss. It's so much more than a number on a scale. It's about self-respect. It's a momentum thing. Now that I've lost 50 pounds, wow, there's no reason why I can't do this next thing that initially seemed so daunting, but now I know I can do it. The celebration is not just how much better you look and feel, but how much more self-respect you have. We get on a track of success at Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, it's Austin Ward with a reminder that losing weight with Awaken 180 isn't about the number on the scale. It's about how that number spearheads endless successes. Bring your goals to Awaken 180, then celebrate when you check off each and every one of them. Call 844-346-1800 or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back. Our guy, Jordan Dajani, CBS, covering the NFL. He's our guy. He's on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. Jordan, good to have you back.
Yo, my friends, what's going on? Thanks for having me on the show this afternoon.
You got it, my man. All right, so worst draft pick in your mind, and these are probably weird for me to put out there, but I just thought about it. Listen, one guy was drafted 8th, the other guy was like 60-something. But when the Lions drafted Hendon Hooker, and now they've given Goff all this cash, so it feels like that was maybe a wasted pick. And then Penix, to Atlanta when they know they have Cousins. Now, they're drastically different as far as where they were picked. But I do want to get your opinion on both of those things.
I mean, we have to let the trial play out before we hand out sentencing, right, in terms of what these quarterbacks are going to be. But it's interesting you bring up Hendon Hooker because I reside here in the fine state of Tennessee, and, of course, he is kind of a Tennessee legend. And a lot of people thought he was going to be a quarterback that was going to be able to upend Jared Goff. But, of course, he was coming off that ACL injury, didn't get to play his rookie year. Jared Goff has a career year. Now the franchise is forced to pay the piper for his services. And Jared Goff's going to be a very rich man, and the Lions are on the right track. But when it comes to Michael Penix Jr., I mean, this is a quarterback a lot of people are intrigued by. We're talking about prolific production prospects. He's shaking off 4 straight season-ending injuries to be one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Now, it's interesting that, of course, that Atlanta had to pay that high price for Kirk Cousins to come in the building. But the bottom line is that the Falcons brass looks at Michael Penix Jr. as someone who can be a legitimate franchise quarterback and have a very bright future in this league. So if that ends up ringing true and Michael Penix Jr. is, let's say, an elite quarterback, then no one's going to be talking about where he was picked in the contract that Kirk Cousins received in free agency. So, again, it remains to be seen, but it's going to be a fascinating situation to see how it all ends up.
Jordy, you mentioned you're down in Tennessee, and I can't wait to pick your brain on the Titans all season, but more importantly, Will Levis and what you think he's going to bring to the field, because I kind of like what they've done. On paper, offense, defense, they brought in weapons on both sides. Will Levis and the vibe around him right now, how are you feeling about him, and what type of quarterback play do you think he's going to bring to the field in 2024?
I got to tell you, I love that other markets are starting to realize that Tennessee's had a pretty good offseason. I mean, I'm not trying to say that they're going to be some Super Bowl sleeper. I'm not saying that at all, but people around here in Nashville, they have been telling me that this is actually the most exciting offseason they've had in Titans franchise history, which is kind of surprising to hear, especially considering that you hired a first-year head coach, you fired a coach that was a previous NFL Coach of the Year as well. You got basically a rookie quarterback ready to enter his first full season as starter. But this new regime's done a tremendous job when it comes to acquiring talent on both sides of the ball. Now, when it comes to Will Levis specifically, I absolutely love this guy, and there's a few reasons why. One, he has that legitimate arm talent that can make really good quarterbacks, elite quarterbacks. I mean, when you go to the practice field and watch this guy just play catch with a trainer, the ball flies out of his arm. It's a different kind of arm strength, if you will, at this level. The other thing is that he's a competitor. Like, he wants to go out there and take hits. He wants to be a leader in the locker room, and he wants to make those challenging throws down the field. And, again, I think he has the talent necessary to do so. So now that he has the guidance of someone like Brian Callahan, who has worked with plenty of different quarterbacks during the courses of their careers, like Peyton Manning, Derek Carr, Joe Burrow as a rookie, Joe Burrow as a vet. Now that you've got that support system with the talent around you, like Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, Traylon Burks, Chiggo Okonkwo, and a revamped offensive line, there's going to be reasons to be optimistic for Will Levis. So, yeah, I think he's someone flying under the radar and someone maybe poised to take that next step into being a really good player at this level.
Jordan Dajani with us, CBS Sports, covering the NFL. All right, I let you lock up one quarterback moving forward. Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, and I'll even throw in Brock Purdy right now into the conversation. You get to lock up one. What are you doing?
Oh, man, good question. I mean, these are all different quarterbacks, especially at different stages of their careers as well. I kind of want to opt for the younger player. Like Brock Purdy, for example, he's not like a Lamar Jackson or a Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. He's not the playmaker on offense that's going to shoulder the load, but he's someone who runs that Kyle Shanahan system to perfection, and then his first full season as a starter goes to the Super Bowl and breaks the NFL record for yards per attempt. So maybe Brock Purdy should be the answer there. But I would definitely opt to one of the younger guys. Like Jordan Love had a really fascinating season, in my opinion. I mean, that Packers wide receiving room, they have the lowest cap number of any franchise in the NFL at the wide receiver position. So it's this young talent that's continuing to grow together under Matt LaFleur. I find that a really intriguing situation. But, man, I don't know. After watching what Brock Purdy did, even if he's not the guy that's going to shoulder the load by himself, I might have to opt towards him because what he did in his first full season as a starter is pretty impressive.
Let's bring you into our neck of the woods in AFC North Country and slide over to Pittsburgh. And we were talking a little bit about their quarterback situation earlier. Jordan, at the end of the 2024 season, which quarterback do you think will start more games for the Steelers, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
If we're taking the injury facet out of this scenario, then I'm probably going to opt towards Russell Wilson. The main reason I say that is not because I have a lot of faith in him as a quarterback, but maybe more faith in this revamped offense with the offensive front that they hit hard in the NFL draft, the weapons, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren as the running backs. Are you going to be a quarterback that's so bad, that's bad enough to warrant a benching, to warrant a change under center? Is Russell Wilson going to be that guy, right? Because I kind of view Russell Wilson as someone who's going to be maybe very pedestrian with the Pittsburgh Steelers and not warrant that quarterback change. But there's, of course, going to be a section of the fan base that wants Justin Fields to enter the lineup due to that high upside. But I'd probably lean towards Russell Wilson. But, man, talk about one of the more confusing decisions of the offseason, because in my mind, it almost seems like the Pittsburgh Steelers sent a draft pick to the Chicago Bears just to create a quarterback controversy for themselves.
Are you more excited about the Cowboys playing the Browns in week 1 or Tom Brady's call in the booth?
Oh, that's easy. It's got to be Tom Brady in the booth. There's no question about that. I mean, it's just for this first game, right? Because it's going to be interesting to see how Tom Brady is as a commentator, right? I mean, he's someone who processes the game basically different than anybody else, so it's going to be fascinating to hear him talk about it. But also, Tom Brady is clearly this guy who kind of wears some masks sometimes, so it's going to be fun to see what he truly is like behind the scenes, where you get to listen to him break down a football game for 3 hours straight. So, yeah, that's an easy question right there.
When you were talking about the Titans, you were kind of alluding to the fact that maybe now people are really starting to open their eyes to what they could be this year. Is there another team that you like that maybe labeled a sleeper right now around the league?
Yeah, I do have one, and they don't exactly fit that same mold, but it's kind of fascinating comparing the amount of energy, the amount of attention they got last offseason to this offseason, and that's the New York Jets, right? Aaron Rodgers is back healthy. He's back in the saddle with this offense that is tailor-made for him. And by the way, I still think the Jets have probably a top 3 defense in the National Football League that has served as their identity for several seasons now. So that if they can get some consistency on the other side, dare I say good production from the offensive side, then the New York Jets are going to be a playoff team. And Aaron Rodgers, I know he's 85 years old, but he has this superpower that it comes out when it comes to proving the doubters wrong. So I'm not betting against Aaron Rodgers coming off this torn Achilles at an older age. I think he's out for blood. So I think the New York Jets are going to be a fun team to watch as well.
Yeah, he's just got to talk his Achilles into cooperating. That's all, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, my man. Good to talk with you as always. We'll talk again soon. Thanks, Jordan.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Jordan Dajani, CBS Sports, covering the NFL on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline.
Hey, A-Rod's got those goods, man. He's got the special cabinet with these funky whatever drugs
he was
likes
doing
to
that
use.
before he ripped the Achilles, though.
But now he's got to really ramp it up, a higher dosage.
Double your dosage.
That and then some, CB. That and then some for Aaron Rodgers. I'm with Dajani. I think they're going to be a problem for teams in the AFC.
Well, they were supposed to be a problem. They were. I mean, they're I agree. I look at them as the same way I kind of looked at them before he got injured. That's what he's saying. I guess we don't know exactly how he's going to hold up, but we're going on the hypothetical that he will.
If he's out there, they're going to be, I think, really, really good. And now they just got some more protection, I think, at least on paper, with some offensive line help. They drafted a first-round offensive lineman out of Penn State. And so that defense, I'm with Jordan on that as well. But it's the major if, as it is with all those players. But at his age, maybe you hit caps lock a little bit more with that if than others around the league.
I do wonder, though, how tentative he is going to be, because he can move. He's not like a Blazer, but he can run. He's always used his mobility as a weapon to get him a better passing lane. We'll see how confident he is. But this is definitely his last go-around.
Last couple rounds, for sure. Yeah, the confidence will come, I'm sure, when those first couple pressures come. That's the only way you can really feel it. Because, AR, mandatory minicamp coming up. Robert Saleh's going to be like, you better not even smell Aaron Rodgers' cologne. And then when we get to training camp, it's going to be the same thing. He won't be able to feel that until real live game action. That's just what he's got to do.
There's certain things that older fellas have to give up. One of them is probably like full court hoops, like softball, like into your later years, like rounding second, and there you go. I heard a pop. They're just sacrifices.
Then hey, I got to start playing pickleball, and maybe I can only get 9 holes in instead of 18, and
that's it, man.
Maybe only 2 beers instead of 6.
Let's not tax that Achilles anymore. All right, we'll come back with the Buckeye Bulletin, and Jake adding some athleticism to fit the fit. And Maddie's favorite, we have another update on Baby Gronk.
Oh, no.
That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone are idiots. You should listen to them anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan, Ohio's idiot destination.
Are you experiencing brain fog or difficulty building muscle? Feeling irritable and lacking energy? It might not be just your busy lifestyle. Many men worldwide suffer in silence from low testosterone. But there's hope. Introducing testosterone replacement therapy from Precision Health and Wellness. Imagine waking up with renewed vigor and confidence. Visit ChoosePrecisionHealth.com or call now to schedule a consultation. Reclaim your vitality today with testosterone replacement therapy from Precision Health and Wellness.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, as we get older, it's inevitable. There's going to be parts of your body that let you down. Sometimes it's your knees, sometimes it's your elbow. Maybe your back is hurting you a bit more than it used to. Maybe it's another part of your body that's letting you down. In the bedroom, let's say. And you need to get your confidence back. That's where my guys and my gals at Blue Chew step in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office. There's no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and the product's shipped right to your door in a discreet package. And if you don't like swallowing pills, you don't have to. Blue Chew tablets are, of course, chewable. If you need to get your confidence back in the bedroom, visit BlueChew.com. Plus, I've got a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code BONE at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. BlueChew.com, promo code BONE, and you get to try Blue Chew for free, plus the $5 shipping. Just use promo code BONE at BlueChew.com.
Take action with Logan Services. Save up to $2,700 on a qualifying train system. And pick one freebie when you schedule your installation now. We make home comfort easy. Logan Services.
DraftKings Sports and Social is now open in Columbus Short North. Get ready for the ultimate experience where sports and the party collide into an atmosphere unlike any other. Visit sportsandsocial.com/Columbus and follow us on social for details. DraftKings Sports and Social. Drink, eat, be social.
Sunday's the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and Dabir Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
Technology helps keep everyone comfortable with a smart thermostat.
Turn temperature down.
Temperature down.
Turn temperature up.
Temperature up. But to keep everyone on your team working comfortably, you need more than technology. You need CDW to custom configure Dell Client Solutions devices. Adaptive AI-based software creates a personalized user experience and boosts collaboration so they can stay cool and collected.
Temperature down.
Temperature up.
I'm staying out of this. Dell Client Solutions make adaptive performance possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Sears Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, the question becomes, does Matty want to hear from Jake Diebler, or does he want the baby Gronk update?
Listen, this is like asking me, do I want to get my vegetables out of the way first? And in this scenario, the vegetables are baby Gronk, so let's get him out of the way. What is his dad up to? Because I can't blame the kid. This is fifth, sixth grader right now? This is his parents living off his kid's glory, which is like, all right, let's chill a little bit. But what do you got?
He is amazing. I mean, you got to admit, he is amazing.
Have you checked out his highlights?
Because he committed to Ohio State, and he had Colorado in his top 30.
But none of these programs are acknowledging this kid. This is just him, his
awesome
Twitter page, and his dad loving the attention that he's getting, and it needs to stop.
His name is Madden San Miguel.
I haven't even seen a highlight of this kid.
There are no highlights. That's the fun
These
part.
are just the posters of
There are some 7-on-7 highlights out there.
7
with like this long flowing mullet flowing out the back.
Yeah, like an Elite 11 camp for the sixth grader CB. Is that what he's doing?
I would probably
Something
compare
like
it to that, yeah.
Okay.
But the mullet is really cool.
So he had,
big mullet guy.
He had top 30.
You're jealous because you got the bald head. That's what it is. You're envious. That's
you're
what it is.
catching on.
There we go.
Baby Gronk's top 30. Put out his top 30 schools. He's a little guy, 10, 11 years old. And he committed to Oklahoma, and 5 days later, he decommitted from them. This is his fun little deal.
You can't commit somewhere where you don't have any offers.
Right? Shout out to that guy that, if you remember way back when, that Lyman committed to Cal, but he didn't have any offers.
I do remember that story. He got caught. That was a mess.
Well, last summer, he told The Athletic that he did get one real offer. The dad told that he got one real offer from Arizona.
Was that Jed Fish? He was the head coach out there?
It was a verbal offer. Come on out to Tucson.
Did their head coach confirm this?
Or he's at Washington now.
Well, now he's not allowed to commit until he gets to the 7th grade.
No, but I'm saying, did we have any member of the Arizona coaching staff on record saying, yes, we offered baby Gronk a scholarship?
I don't know that information.
Because I'm still not buying it.
He just completed the 5th grade. The way his profile has been used by his dad, people have just crushed the dad for this, for feeding his son answers on a podcast and playing the puppet master behind him and all that. And anyway, the baby Gronk is at the point where it's getting a little cringy, but he did commit to Ohio State. And then today, CB informed me that he has already flipped, correct?
He sure did. He flipped to the team up north.
Come on. This guy.
Going full Roddy Gale.
It's a good call right there. It's a good call out of you. Yeah, this is I'm at the point now, AR, where...
Yeah. You'll follow him around the country?
I don't need to hear.
You're at this point?
I don't need to hear from baby Gronk until, when is he out? 2035 is when we may see him. Until then,
question is,
I'm cool on baby Gronk.
Will we be here? Will you be here?
Oh, you'll be here.
Will any of us be here?
You know what?
For baby Gronk.
For me, they'll probably get me out of here sooner rather than later.
Baby Gronk announces Scarlet and Gray.
Then his dad will say, you remember that radio show a few years ago? You were talking crap about me. What do you got to say to me now? So, hey, listen, man, you were out of line, Pops. Because that's the worst type of parent. Like travel baseball growing up, you see these parents at these games, and they're living through their kid, and they're making all this noise. It's just like, sit down, okay? Just, you know what I'm talking about?
Those type of parents to sit down. It's tough for them.
Yeah, but when it's about you as a parent is when it becomes the problem. Cheering for your kid and all that, I'm all on board for that. But when you know the parent is making it about them, stealing a page from LeVar Ball, when we got a little issue.
What would be great is if somebody did actually get some kind of binding commitment and was like stuck in giving him a scholarship to this kid.
The fact that we're at this point to where this is being talked about nationally.
You know that old phrase
is just a joke.
You know that old phrase, he peaked in high school? The last thing you want to hear is you peaked in grade school. Like that's setting the kid up for a bad life.
Man, that is tough when you were the guy or the gal that did peak in high school, where you're like the hottest chick in high school, and then you see them maybe 15, 20 years down the road, or you're the big-time athlete in high school where you're just crushing everybody because you're like 6'3" in like 7th grade, and everybody else is like 5'6", and then everybody kind of catches up to you, and you're just kind of just a guy.
That's right.
It's tough.
Welcome to the real world. But you said it right. The real lead is a kid whose dad is using him for Instagram clout and money. That's rough.
Yeah, come on.
But, baby Gronk got to do what he's got to do.
Hey, he said, Elon Musk is cashing checks for Twitter likes and retweets. I'm going to get some of that. Got to feed my baby Gronk some Lunchables, man.
Kid can't really commit to a coach who may not be there. I mean, we've got to give him a chance. All right, let's get to Jake because this roster is turned over a lot. I mean, for most of the season, CB, you started one senior in Jamison Battle, I believe. You had all those sophomores and Thornton and Mahaffey, and you had Akpara and Gale. By the way, 2 of those 4 now are gone. Of those guys, they got some help off the bench with Zed Key. He gone.
He flying down Dayton.
Dale Bonner.
He gone.
You had a few freshmen. Royal, back.
He's back.
Middleton. Gone.
He gone.
Chapman. Here, he stayed. You've got Etzler. He stayed, right? He stayed.
Yeah.
Hardman. Gone.
Yeah, he gone.
Austin Parks still here.
Yeah, he's here.
Parks is still here. I
Okay.
believe Hardman went to Akron.
That sounds right, CB. I'll double check that for you, but that does sound right.
So, and then you've got the incomers in Junie Mobley and Colin White. So, and then you have Bradshaw, who's coming in, and who's the other one I'm forgetting?
Sean Stewart
from Duke. So you got Duke and UK rolling
Micah
in.
Parrish.
Yeah,
Micah Parrish, San Diego State. We'll see if he can provide some shooting there. But yeah, the excitement does come from the bigs for me. I can't wait to see how that plays itself out, AR, with 2 guys that were huge recruits, right, coming out of high school. And obviously Coach Cal, Coach Shire, Coach Shire's got some proving to do, but it feels like he's going to be a good coach. But Coach Cal saw some type of vision coming out of high school, so that speaks volumes.
The other thing we saw late in the year was that Deebs wants these guys to move. Be athletes. You're athletes. Let's play like it. Here he is adding athleticism.
I think the athleticism and the versatility that we have in the front court is different than what we've had in the past, and I'm really excited about that. It's going to allow us to play with more pace, and it's going to allow us to do some different things defensively.
Let's hope so. Let's hope he can capture what he did in that 6-2 run or whatever it was to end the year and gave everybody a good scare. It was probably one team you didn't really want to have to play because they really were on house money at that time. And here we go. But it all changed. I put that in a box. You want the momentum from just the vibe, but the momentum from the season is closed.
I agree.
New roster, new chemistry, all that. All right, that's today's Buckeye Bulletin. We'll keep Maddie up to date on the movements of one infant Gronk. All right, when we come back, Sports Center update here, top of the hour. We'll get into a deep dive, and a lot of people carry some pressure. We talk about it on this show all the time. There are certain college programs that have a lot more than others. We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Hey guys, it's Chops, and I'm here with special guest Alyssa, one of the awesome coaches at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Alyssa, why do you do what you do?
I love helping clients improve their moods and get more energy. Clients come here to get off their medications. We just want to help you with whatever goal is going to be the most important to you. We have a client that hasn't ridden a horse in 8 years. We have a client that wants to go scuba diving. So they could be these huge goals that are so exciting. But then I have a client that said, I just want to reach down and tie my shoe.
Thanks, Alyssa. After you realize losing weight is attainable with Awaken 180, it's amazing how many goals you start setting for yourself. Set those goals and reach them with the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Discover what's possible at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 20 or more select self-leveling underlayment. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. You know what Rich is up to? He's got Memorial Day sales going all month long. Interest rates starting as low as 1.90% on the 2024s. The Civic LX sedan, the Accord LX sedan, and CRV LX two-wheel drives. And he's going to throw you an extra $1,000 for your trade. He wants to give you the best deal in town, and you will not be disappointed. Germain Honda of Dublin is my Honda dealer in Central Ohio, and hopefully yours on Sawmill Parkway just south of 270.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We now know that the Cleveland Browns will open their season at 4:25 Sunday, September 8th at home, hosting the Dallas Cowboys. The game will be Tom Brady's first as a color commentator for Fox. We also know that week 2, the Bengals will travel to Kansas City to face the Chiefs at 4:25. The Chiefs will actually open up the season with a Thursday night football matchup hosting the Baltimore Ravens. The full NFL schedule gets released tomorrow night at 8. NBA playoffs tonight. The Knicks host the Pacers at 8. Then at 10:30, the Nuggets host the Timberwolves. Both of those series tied at 2 games apiece. NHL, Florida looks to eliminate Boston at 7. Brad Marchand will miss his second straight game with an injury for the Bruins. Edmonton hosts Vancouver at 9:30. The Canucks lead that series 2-1. The Guardians down in Texas to face the Rangers at 8:05. And the Reds in Arizona taking on the Diamondbacks at 9:40.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, final hour of the program. Double D, bottom of the hour, Dan Dakich, 2:33. We'll talk to him about the dueling viewership in Indy tonight. Caitlin Clark's debut for the Indiana Fever on the road against the Pacers, who are on the road at the Knicks. She will actually come back Thursday to have her home debut in Indianapolis against the New York Liberty. You talk about pressure on her. It's here, but she's carried it for a long, long time. And I'll be very curious, what kind of facilitator she is tonight, how much she shoots from the outside. Does she take the long two? The physicality of it. Does she get frustrated? Who knows? Maybe she has an incredible debut. We shall see. That goes at 7:30 tonight. And I think it says a lot that most of us are curious that she's had that effect on the sports world.
100%, man. And not only am I interested in everything you laid out, just to see how she reacts to, the level up in the WNBA, going from the Big Ten to the professional league now to where obviously that's where the best in the world play. But is she legitimately going to be a needle mover for these networks and for ESPN and where all these games are going to be broadcast. And I know they're up against it right now. NBA playoffs coming up. The NFL schedule stuff's going to get a lot of attention, to get us to the weekend after tomorrow night. But she is all over the place. She's all over the place. I saw Peyton Manning, his Omaha Productions. They got like a series that's following her and some other players around, kind of like that quarterback series on Netflix. Like they have that going, and that's been on ABC and ESPN over the last couple of days. So because of what she did at the collegiate level, they're putting the machine behind her. And now if her game's going to follow, it's going to be interesting to see what type of spark that she's going to provide, not for the basketball fan, but for the casual sports fan, and whether or not she's going to get people to sit down on their couches or at bars or wherever it's going to be to watch these games to see her get busy.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, there are a lot of these women's players can play. She just has a different flair about her. She has a Steph Curry feel about her ability to shoot from long range and the ability to kind of take over and get in a zone. She's that player. So we get to find out tonight, 7:30 on The Deuce. And then, like I said, back home on Thursday. We'll talk to Double D bottom of the hour. You and I were talking about this before the show, which is about the teams that have the most to prove this year. Although we do have some game day also, right?
Because we saw this come out because, there's a lot of, scheduling stuff popping off right now, not only for the NFL, but for college football as well. I know CB was passing along some of the Peacock games that are going to be going down throughout that first weekend, which we just need to go ahead and get you a subscription.
To be clear, those were the Big Ten Saturday night games.
Those are not on NBC. Okay, but that's under the same umbrella, correct? NBC, Peacock, they're under the same. They're paired together.
Well, yes, Peacock is the NBC streaming platform. Yes.
So all that stuff's starting to come out, and we saw today that ESPN announced a Week 1 college football triple header. So you're going to get Clemson taking on Georgia at noon in Atlanta. Then you'll get Miami taking on Florida at 3:30, and then the primetime game that night is Texas A&M taking on Notre Dame, and that game, AR, is going to be the site of College Game Day. So that's not a bad triple header right out of the gate. Week 1, you got a rivalry down in Florida. Mm-hmm. You got Clemson, Dabo taking on Kirby and that juggernaut, and then we're resetting at Texas A&M with a new head coach, and then we're going to see what Marcus Freeman can do with the new quarterback in Riley Leonard. So I'm not mad at that triple header at all.
No, the Clemson one jumps out to me. I mean, they should get thrashed. I mean, it just feels like forever since they had Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson. It just feels like they were just rolling quarterbacks.
They had some dudes, man.
And it just feels like that's ancient history now. I mean, I think they split them up this year. Right, Klubnik's back there, right?
Yeah.
So he's there. I really don't know who else. But
they just lost Will Shipley, their really good running back. I believe he's now a Philadelphia Eagle. So I'm glad you brought up Clemson because
are they even top 25?
The question that I
don't know.
That's a good question.
It's close, maybe.
The question I was going to ask you guys is, do we think Dabo's done winning at the highest level? And the way that this is trending, it feels that way. But when a guy at a point in time did have it figured out, I'm never going to completely shut the door on him. But this is a head coach that's completely pushed back on the new way of things. And I can't help but ignore that that's holding them back to a certain degree. I'm sure there's other factors, injuries, misses in recruiting classes. That's going to happen to everybody. But you're right. I mean, when you think about the run that they were on, when Ohio State played them years ago and how loaded that team was, and then some of the guys you look at now that are in the NFL that were under that Dabo Swinney era of time when they were really rolling, they don't have the same bite as they used to. They felt like Georgia for a while. When Kirby really got that thing rolling, in the way Kirby Smart now has Georgia humming, to me, is kind of the vibe Clemson was giving off a few years ago, and it's been kind of like a flat Sprite. You got the taste of Sprite, but it don't have that carbonation anymore.
No, there's no effervescent feel. Yeah. There's no bubbles. I just looked up their NIL stuff. So if you believe it, from earlier this year, Clemson's NIL collective got $4 million in contributions, or that was in 2022. And so, I mean, I don't know. Is that staggering? It's a lot of money. I mean, it doesn't feel like that there's heavy pushback on that. The majority of NIL deals at Clemson are all with the football players. I just don't know how good they are comparable to everybody else's deal. Because that's what it is. Because I don't think Dabo didn't forget how to coach. I don't think he's lost the fire. I don't think that's it. I think we're now judging these guys. We did judge them in the past on recruiting. Like, could they get the best players? And that was a lot of on their assistants, and the head coach would kind of be the closer. But now we know what the closer is. The closer is the cash, right?
For a lot of people, it is. It's for a lot of people.
Bring in the bag, man.
It is. One thing we do know about Dabo is he might be the fastest head coach in college football. When he's running down that hill, Dabo can get it, man.
Yeah, that to me is a great tradition. It's one that it's hard to push back against, and for young college players, it's probably no big deal. But has anyone ever been injured running down that hill?
It wouldn't surprise me.
But I think we'd hear about it.
Because the players, how they you got to gallop down that hill. And I know they want to, touch the rock and all that. Because it does get the house rocking before the game.
It's amazing.
Like, it's a great atmosphere when you see Clemson come out onto the field for the first time. But Dabo might be the fastest head coach in college football. I'd give PJ Flex probably up there too, because he's shown some sprinting ability. But those videos of Dabo just getting his Usain Bolt on, not mad at it. I
don't know if the better question is, has anybody gotten injured running down the hill, or anybody got injured running into that brick wall?
So just a quick Google search, I found that there's a video called Clemson running downhill plus a face plant.
By a coach or a player? Because if
it looks like maybe just like team personnel.
Yeah, because when I heard the phrase face plant, I don't think you'd ever say that to a guy wearing a helmet. Like, you can't really, you either fall or you don't. I feel like someone had to have rolled an ankle at some point. Not where maybe you'd go down, but like you get to the sidelines like, I think I tweaked something.
Yeah, for sure. And it's got to be a member of either the cheerleading squad, the small polo gang. Every college football team, you look on their sideline, they got the dude that's super swole, but he's in like a polo that's 2 sizes too small, like the strength and conditioning guys. Or it's, some analytics guru or something that ate it. Not surprised.
Yeah, here's what I wouldn't. This is kind of falls under the you hate to see it, right? When you really love it. It'd be like when an accident happens at the Tour de France, when one bike goes down and then you take out about 40 behind you. Like, I feel like if someone fell running down the hill that was early on or in the middle of the team,
be multiple to follow.
You'd have a pile up.
Well, you mentioned in that race, I think the problem with the race, right, is there's no wiggle room on the sides because you got fans all over the place. It seems like they're kind of in like one lane when you're cramming all those bikes in there, so there's really nowhere to go.
Here's the other thing. They do put a mat down, right? There's like a Clemson. It's not just like wet turf, right? Like if it was raining or something. Yeah, I think they make it as grippy as you can for them. The other thing that's very hard for me to know, because I have not been there, is how steep is it? It looks pretty steep.
It honestly, it does. That's why I'm surprised we haven't had more injuries in this.
Well, and I don't know, injury, I mean, like maybe like a hammy or, like I said, an ankle
just a
roll.
Tweaked ankle or a blown knee or anything.
See that? You go blown knee, then
it's done. If that happens to Kate Klubnik, it's done. I think the tradition will be done. If it happened to the starting quarterback.
If it happened to a starting quarterback, it would be bad. If it happened to anybody else, you'd be like, well, he probably doesn't deserve a scholarship. He just fell running untouched down a hill.
Stripping him of his scholarship?
No, I'm just saying, like, that would be the joke.
Oh, okay.
That'd be the joke if you had a football player that couldn't make it down a hill.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are pretty athletic, and I'm not here to take the tradition away from them, nor would anybody, based on the fact that they've been doing it for a long, long time. But there has to be somebody. But if I have to reach for one, then maybe there wasn't one.
Especially in the world of viral videos, that would be all over the place.
Yeah.
Real quick, going back to this triple header that ESPN announced for week 1 of college football, like Mario Cristobal, where we at, big dog? You left Oregon, you went back to your alma mater. Now here you are with Cam Ward, a seasoned vet at quarterback. They brought in a really good running back and Damian Martinez. That game's going to be fascinating for me. And then Texas A&M in that primetime slot. You got Mike Elko coming from Duke. Tough place to recruit, tough place to win. Now here he is with all the resources in the world at a program where we know they get a bunch of support down there. Those two head coaches in this trio of games for me going to be very fun to watch all year, and especially Mario Cristobal, because I believe if he doesn't have a good year, the noise is going to get really loud about, like, what are we doing with this guy?
Well, there's a feeling now that the U is back.
Okay.
Like, there's a feeling. Now, them being back is different than them being all the way back. Them being back is probably top 25. Them being all the way back is national title contender. You did bring up Cam Ward, and it looked like he put himself in a really good spot right now. He had some great performances, or he has in his previous stops. So this is year 3, I think, for Cristobal. Feels like it.
That feels
I'd have to look that. Either way,
yeah.
I looked at the portal right now after their spring game. They signed a running back, a receiver. They've got a pretty veteran group, it looks like. And here's the good thing for them. The offensive line returns.
Which we know, Mario Cristobal, he builds out the trenches. So, yeah, they could be a fun little team down in the ACC. Okay. ACC is going to be a very interesting league.
And you're telling me they open at Florida.
Miami versus Florida at 3:30
kick.
Down in the swamp. It's going to be muggy down there.
That's a nice little game right there.
Oh, no doubt. Rivalry game right out of the gate?
Yeah, well, and this year, and you know what, we talked about this with expanding on, and like some of these teams are on the outside, outside the top 12 that really feel like they got to win some games. But it also feels like that now there's a way back. Like there's a way back for these teams. We had so many early games where like whoever wins this is going to, like the losers almost feels like eliminated.
You know how you had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Yeah. You got more lifelines. Phone a friend, you got them all now. To your point, you're right. Got more wiggle room.
Phone a bag man. Would that be a lifeline for some of these programs?
There's bagmans all over the place.
Get on the phone. Now. We need more money. Buy some wins. All right. When we come back, we'll do a little pre-snap read. So ironic, the timing of this. We just talked about Jared Goff yesterday and tried to cook up a contract for him. The one I cooked up, a little low for old Jared. He got the cash. We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
3 dudes who will make you feel like the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, we hornswoggled you good.
Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Big things are happening on the east side.
We're ready to deal. Come negotiate during May's Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda. Lower payments, better financing, more value for any trade. Take up to $3,000 off new Honda CRVs, up to $5,000 off pilots. We'll work hard to get you a payment you can afford. Now, during May Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference.
See lindsayhonda.com for program details.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Spring is here, and it's only going to get hotter from here, folks. Don't cool off the outside this year. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. They are the best in the business. Who else backs it up with a true 20-year warranty? Give them a call, 614-502-5220 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. For every 2 windows you buy, the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Check them out online, uwd.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Morning Juice.
The real zoo is just the humans here. We are the zoo. I think the next time I take William there, we're just going to hang out like by a park bench and just watch the people.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, let's talk about the bedroom for a moment. That moment of intimacy. I don't think people call it that, but you know what I'm saying, right? The time where maybe you're ready for a little oh yes, and instead it's turned into an oh no for you. Because maybe you're having a little bit of an issue in the bedroom. It's all right. My guys at BlueChew.com are there to help you out. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. So if you don't like to swallow pills, good news. Blue Chew's tablets are a performance enhancement for the bedroom that can help you gain extra confidence when it's time to perform, and you don't have to swallow it. You can chew it. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. If you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com right now. And here's a special deal for my listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code BONE at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code BONE to receive your first month free. That's BlueChew.com, promo code BONE.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are pretty soggy right now. We'll get a brief break as we head into lunchtime. Temperatures climbing under cloudy skies at that point. We'll see highs this afternoon reach the lower 70s. Columbus topping out at 72 degrees. Showers and thunderstorms return this evening and continue overnight. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your Doubleton forecast on The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, a little Bet365 time, Maddie.
Because at Bet365, let me tell you what we don't do. We don't do ordinary. And you can see for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5.
All right, so sometimes the secret to success is just cutting some weight. And I'm not talking about literally, just figuratively. Or maybe you're in a bad situation, and it can go one way or the other, right? You can be caught up in your personal life. Personal life can affect your professional life. We've seen it happen good ways, bad ways, all that. We've seen guys who, play great on like the birth of their child's day or something, or,
right.
But we learned today that Rory McIlroy has filed for divorce. And the irony is that he's been winning and playing really well. So this may be a little bit of secret sauce in that maybe he's just sinking his entire mind into his golf. He does have a young child, too. And so they were married for a while. Or I don't know how long they've been married. They've been with each other for a while because she was working the Ryder Cup event for the PGA when they first met like 10, 12 years ago.
Oh, so he pulled a Tyler Glass now? Like, I like that over there. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can.
Married in 2017? Okay, but I think they dated for a good 5-6 years.
Okay.
But remember, he broke it off with Caroline Wozniacki, the professional tennis player, after he had met Erica, to be his ex-wife. But either way, she caddied for him at the Masters last year. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think she was there this year, which was just recently. So anyway, this is where we are with McIlroy. So I asked this question already knowing the answer. He and Scheffler would have been pretty good odds anyway, especially with him going to Valhalla. So tell me where Rory McIlroy is for the PGA.
He is second in line behind Scotty with the beard, Scheffler, at plus 700. So I'm betting it all on Rory. I've already put a sprinkle on Tiger to win it. That's just an annual tradition. So that's going to happen. Then I'm going to follow that up after a sprinkle on Brooks Koepka, and I'm going to put a little on Rory McIlroy as well. You're not going to like this. Your favorite live boy, Brooks Koepka, third in line for the best odds here this weekend. 14-1 tied with the X-Man, Xander Schauffele.
I won't even put a mental hedge on that. I can't.
How you feel about my Tiger bet?
It depends how much it was. I think we could throw a few dollars in the middle of the studio here and light it on fire if you want to take care of it a lot quicker. He does have a new goatee going. Okay. The goatee is back.
He's trying to get like Scotty, huh? Grow out the facial hair. Maybe that'll help his game
But I think this may be a time because the PGA Championship goes back to Valhalla in Louisville. 10 years, I think, after his win in the dark there. It feels like he'll have to be there on Sunday. Whether he wins or not, who knows? But
you might fall to your knees in joy if he wins this.
I think we found the remedy. He is unfettered now.
If Rory wins this, AR is going to be in the best mood ever.
I like him.
On Monday, come Sunday night. So we'll go a little sprinkle on Rory plus 700. You didn't even need this story.
I
you
knew
were going with him anyway.
That's what I said. I kind of knew where he was, but actually I thought it was a little less than 7-1, so I like it.
Give me a name real quick that you like. That could be that I'm looking at the odds. Maybe a guy that's not in the. Just give me a name. What do you like? I'll tell you their
Max
odds.
Homa.
Max Homa right now, 25-1.
Okay.
25-1. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365, the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
I'll tell you a funny little poll that I read today in Detroit about Jared Goff's contract. So they were polling their fans. Right, he got a 4 for 212. Right, I was cooking up a 4 for what, 190 yesterday.
What do you get? 170 guaranteed? I think
that's right. So 170. I gave him 150. So I gave him 4 at 190 with 150. He got 4 at 212 with 170.
Ooh, they've been blowing money fast up there in Detroit.
3 dudes, 500 mil, I think.
And
Goff, Sewell, and Amon-Ra. About 500
and they're all worth it.
3 dudes.
All 3 of them are worth it. Pillars
500 million.
Got your pillars in place for the foreseeable future.
That's where the NFL has gone, right? If you get the right guys.
Yep.
So I read this poll because we all know Jared Goff is not the second best quarterback in the NFL. He's not. He just got paid like it, but he's not. So this is a perfect example of where we are in the NFL. Here's the poll. These are your choices, 4 choices. We'll vote in it too.
Okay.
He's good enough, so I'm glad the Lions locked him up. Choice 2, he doesn't deserve that contract. The Lions made a bad move. Choice 3, the money makes me nervous, but I get why they had to do it. Or 4, I'm going to support it when the Lions win and yell about it when they lose.
I feel like that's the winner, I think. If I had to guess,
the winning choice, but I think the third one for me, the money makes me nervous, but I get why they had to do it. I'd be voting there.
I don't think I'm that nervous about it. He's shown me who
he's
he
good
is.
Enough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think the last couple of years he's really shown us, like, this is his level of play, and he's been one of the most productive guys. I don't think that's just going to fade away. Like, I really don't. The only thing that's going to come back to bite him, I think, is injury. So as long as Amon-Ra, Laporta, those guys continue to grow, I think Jared Goff's going to give them a very safe floor. And this is just the game you got to play now. When you have a guy of this caliber, they deserve this type of money.
You could make the case that the only reason they weren't in the NFC title is because their coach got too aggressive. Niners rallied from down 17.
Yeah,
that game is there for the taking.
It is. That'll probably haunt him a little bit, and probably has all season. I know one guy that was really excited about this deal is a former Detroit Lion himself who likes to step out of the back of the end zone, and Dan Orlovsky.
And respectfully, he wasn't traded. He was shipped away. He was cast away. And instead of, hiding behind his legs or his tail behind his legs or whatnot, quitting on himself, he just kept working on it and at his craft, and now he's the highest paid Lion. 2 things. He's become a guy Over the last 2 years, he's the best quarterback in the fourth quarter at overtime, leads the NFL in QBR in those situations and passing yards. And number 2, he is the best red zone quarterback in the NFL right now. 18 touchdowns to 0 interceptions along that time frame. What an unbelievable story of a guy that's drafted number 1, immediate success. Yo, you're not good enough. Get out of here. Now $170 million guaranteed for an organization that he has completely turned around. I am so freaking happy for this dude.
It is a cool story. It really is.
He had a second act. I think we knew he did. Win-win for both franchises. The Rams get it first because they got the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So it's hard because I look at him and I don't know whether he's an absolute star. But you're right. He's very good. And he did it with the Rams, and he would have done it last season if his coach wasn't too aggressive or if Josh Reynolds caught a fourth down pass. You could make the case the pass wasn't where it needed to be, but he dropped it. So, and CB can attest to this. LeBron's been searching for their guy forever. They got Deshaun Watson. They still don't know whether that's going to work. So they're paying for a guy that they know is working and probably will continue. So I'm with you. Yeah. I think this is exactly kind of what they had to do. A little bit nervous on whether he can... but he's got a team around him. You're right. Should probably calm my nerves.
They're a young team that's continuing to grow. And the beautiful part about this is they have the chemistry to hit the ground running. When they get to training camp and all those things, you're not learning a whole bunch of new stuff. The guys are familiar with each other. You just build off of a bunch of the success you've already had.
He's durable. But you know the one thing he doesn't have that you'd want him to have needs some wheels, and he's not getting those.
It's all right. That's what we got Jahmyr Gibbs for.
Okay.
Give him the ball, Dan Campbell. You know, he'll take care of it.
Reward top players when you're in a winning window and you're competing for a Super Bowl. All right, those are your pre-snap reads for today. When we come back, Double D, Dan Dakich weighs in, Caitlin Clark's debut, and a lot more. Stay tuned. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The only radio station still operating with an active booze cart. I'm drunk right now. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes Monster Energy and Red Bull and Gatorade and Body Armor. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
You walk into your bathroom every morning and every night, so why not have it be something great? Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. You've been thinking about it, so do it. Let my friends at the Bath Authority transform yours into whatever you envision. With the Bath Authority, every unit can be custom built by you with the premium accents and accessories that you want. And it can all be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. And right now, the Bath Authority is giving you $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
When it comes to getting a new roof, are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Whether residential or commercial, Schottenstein Roofing meets the needs of every customer. From roof installation and repair to siding and gutters, you name it, we do it. Call Schottenstein Roofing, 614-321-8888 to schedule your free inspection today. Go to SchottensteinRoofing.com.
There's a little slice of heaven in a mountain town escape. A pace of life that's less hurried, more authentic, where people greet you with a smile, and experiences feel down to earth, yet elevated. From Appalachian art to wineries and craft breweries, live music to a lively spirit. This is West Virginia. We call it Almost Heaven. Plan your getaway now at WVTourism.com.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the Fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. I need you to listen up real quick. One of the largest manufacturers in the United States for CPAP machines recently announced they're suspending sales of all their breathing machines over problems with the devices. Millions of Philips Respironic ventilators and CPAP machines are being recalled now that they've reached a plea agreement with the FDA. That all doesn't sound good. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, that's why I'm not going to deal with my sleep apnea because I don't want to have a bulky CPAP. Well, this is where you need to call my guy, Dr. Mark Levy. Dr. Mark Levy has dedicated his practice to helping people who suffer from sleep apnea, and he can create a custom mouthpiece for you that stops your snoring and effectively treats your sleep apnea with no CPAP machine. Yeah, he's in network with most major medical insurers and is a Medicare provider too. This is Dr. Mark Levy's passion. He's been doing this a long time. He wants to help you with your sleep apnea and also make it so your partner doesn't want to murder you dead because you snore so much. So do what I did. Call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
There's nothing like ripping off your pants and enjoying some lobster bisque. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, looky here. Back on the air. We just couldn't wait till hoop season, although it is hoop season. NBA, WNBA, and all that. And he's really in the epicenter of it all now. He's our guy, Double D, Dan Dakich. Don't at me on Outkick, Indy Sports Ticket. Double D, good to reconnect, my man. How you feeling?
Yeah, man, let's go. Indy, right? We got the Pacers tonight. We got the Fever tonight. One at 7:30, one at 8. Let's go.
You know what? That just so. Let me ask you this: do we have dueling viewership there? I mean, what? Because I really don't know where the WNBA game in your market is being televised.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it's. I don't know. I think it's ESPN2. I think ESPN2 has.
They have to. It's Caitlin Clark. I mean.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting. Colin Cowherd, he made a statement that he thought that the Fever would outdraw the Pacers. I don't think they're going to outdraw them tonight. You got Game 5. You got the Knicks. It's been a really good series. Jalen Brunson's been great. Halliburton has bounced back. It's a riveting series. If Caitlin Clark against the Sun, the Connecticut Sun, I had to actually look up to see where the Sun were. If she can outdraw them, then God bless her, man. But I don't see it. I think most of the viewership, at least around here, is going to be with the Pacers. I think.
It'll be interesting, that's for sure. I can't wait to see what that looks like. Double D, want to bring you back to Columbus because since the last time we talked to you about all things Ohio State basketball, you got some new guys in the mix. Coach Diebler and his staff, they go into the portal. They go down to Duke and grab Sean Stewart, a highly touted recruit. They go into Kentucky and grab another guy in Aaron Bradshaw. Just your thoughts now on what you've seen Coach Diebler do from afar.
Yeah, I like it. I think Bradshaw, I think he's pretty good. Stewart, too. Look, sometimes you go to a place and it doesn't work out, fine, and you go to another place. But the bottom line is you got to have talent, and I think both of those kids are real talents. I do, and whenever people always want to criticize something. Well, kids leaving, whatever. Well, kid didn't set this system up. Adults did, or the administrators did. So screw that. Kids are doing what they should do, and I like what Diebler's doing. I think when you get two guys that have big-time talent, now it's up to you to figure out two things. One, why didn't it work at the other place? If, in fact, it didn't work. Maybe it worked. They just, they just didn't play enough or, whatever. And then the second thing is how do you utilize them in what you're doing? And, I think it's going to be a little bit fascinating in the Big Ten, and I would include Indiana in that. Indiana had a big portal year. Everybody get excited about, well, you don't have any recruits, and all of a sudden you get in the portal and away you go. I think in both of those schools, I think in particular in Ohio State with a new coach, I think it's fascinating because I swear I've seen both of those kids, and both of those kids are real talents. They're not like, if you go back and you look at McDonald's All-Americans over the years, and I've done this, you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that guy. Yeah, that guy wasn't any good. That guy, yeah, he didn't play in college. But those two guys, I've seen both, and they're real talents. So I'm excited for what Jake's done. I think that they've upgraded the talent level. They kept enough of the sophomore class, that kind of thing. And I think it's going to be a fun year in Columbus, obviously football and basketball.
What's weird, Dan, is that, and I didn't expect this. I don't think anybody expected in Columbus, was to lose Felix Akpar and Roddy Gale. And now Gale's going to Michigan. Yeah. Now, that may not be as big a shock. And obviously with Andrew, Andrew knows about, playing the rivalry and all that. But, for what he got, he lost a couple guys, Dan, that at least were kind of the core of what he had. Now, you're bringing in talent. I get that. And then trying to build the chemistry in this portal world is a challenge. But losing Akpara and Gale, I thought was – I didn't see that coming. And so there's a balance between getting talent, replacing it, but also losing what you had started to build.
Well, I always used to say, when I was at Bowling Green, all the good players got hurt. And I look at the walk, I was like, why do you guys get hurt? Why are our best players getting hurt? And it's the same thing with transfers. You want your best, you can have transfers, but you want your best players to be transfers. But sometimes best player can be defined a lot of ways. And one of the ways the best player can be defined is, does he make others better? Now, I don't know whether on par, I don't know whether Gale did that or didn't do that, but that remains to be seen. But they were two good players, and I thought Akpara got better. Gale, to me, was interesting. I saw where people comparing it with Andrew. Andrew was a walk-on, and basically they had set it up for Andrew to leave Michigan. They're like, hey, we're going to redshirt you. You're going to get a fifth year. This is back before all this. So it's a totally different situation. You're talking about a guy that averaged 12 points a game, in Gale. So that one's totally different. And it had surprised me that he ended up at Michigan. And it shouldn't, right? My son did the same thing, but it just did. It just, even when Andrew did it, I'm like, man, this just looks weird. You know what I mean? But the idea is, okay, it's not like they're coming off a 25-6 season. They're coming off a season where they make tournament. Is anybody really that valuable? I would argue yes. I would argue Thornton is. I'd argue some of the guys are. And we're going to see. But I thought Akpara got better. And Gale was a good player, really good. But you know what? For whatever the reason, and again, maybe it's money, maybe it's fit, maybe it's who knows. I mean, who the hell knows? Now you got to figure it out. But it's not like, as I said, it's not like you were 30-8 and you're losing players. You didn't make the tournament. Something needed to get better, and maybe there's a little bit of addition by subtraction. Maybe there's not. But that's what you got the summer for. You got to figure all this out in the summer. It has to be solved. Chemistry has to be solved in the summer. I'll give you an example. The moment Andrew walked into Ohio State, Jay-Sean Tate and Keita Bates-Diop were awesome. Awesome. Now, Andrew was not going to be a all-league player or anything like that, but they were awesome. And that team had no chemistry issues because the two best players, the two oldest guys, made everybody feel comfortable. And that's what has to happen with Ohio State this summer.
Yeah, no doubt. Yesterday, Dan, we were reacting to a clip from Urban, and he was talking about just the NIL world and how he's not really a huge fan of how it's constructed right now. Do you think there's anything that could bring him back to be a head coach again?
No way, Jose. No. When I talked to him, he got offered an incredible deal by UCLA actually before Ohio State did. This is going way back. And it's like, wow, and I think some schools have offered him even more than what was offered by UCLA back in the day. But the NIL has made it miserable, and that's not the players' fault. The players had nothing to do with it. Players are doing exactly what they should do. But it's, coaches are going to recruit their own. It's just a mess. It's a mess, and I think when you say would there be anything, my answer would be I would wait and see what happens if there's any legislation. If Congress, who is involved, Tommy Tuberville and others are involved, if they change or they give guardrails or they give certain protections to schools and to coaches, because right now there are no protections for schools. There are no protections for the sport itself. It's basically whatever kids want to do and whatever other institutions want to pay, that's it. I think that's going to change over the next 3 to 5 years. But I saw what Urban said, and man, is he right. I mean, it was not intended for that. Everybody knows it wasn't intended to buy players. But I will say this, everybody also knew as soon as they put it in, that was what was going to happen. Every single human being knew. You start saying, okay, we can pay them once they're here. Yeah, my ass. Everybody knew they were going to pay them before they got there and entice them with payment. But no, in terms of Urban, I can't imagine it.
Hey, quickly on this one, Bronny going to the Lakers, you think? Will there be a fight to overdraft him thinking you can get LeBron in the package? Or will Clutch Sports say to every team other than the Lakers, don't bother?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you got a lot of guys in suits in front offices in the NBA, and you got to know the deal. Like, you got to know, okay, if we draft Bronny, do we legitimately have a chance? You got to know the answer to the question before you ask the question. You got to know the answer. So my guess, if you were going to say to me what's going to happen with the Lakers, I would guess J.J. Redick's going to be the coach, Bronny James is going to be drafted, LeBron James is going to stay. Now, I go by this. He's LeBron James does a podcast with J.J. Redick. That just popped up. There's a reason that happened. Bronny James and the James family, by all accounts, seem to really like L.A. They've got their family there. It's more than just playing basketball. He's at the end. The kid, he's got other kids that are playing there. And frankly, Bronny James, I don't know if anybody else would draft him unless they knew LeBron was coming. Yeah. So, you got to know the answer to the question before you do. You got to know whether or not this is going to influence to the point where James would come to your program. Like I would say this, man, hey, here's the deal. If I were the Pacers and you knew James was coming, hell, draft him. Who cares? Get LeBron James. I would say that to any franchise. But you better know that before you do it.
All right, my man. Always good to reconnect. Great to talk with you. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
We'll check in again soon, man. Be well.
Always. See you. Bye-bye.
You got it. Bye, Danny. All right, Dan Dakich there on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We will come back and tell the truth to wrap it up. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and Tebow.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Listen up, gamers. Mountain Dew has always been your go-to for a refreshing citrus kick. Now it's also your go-to for gaming rewards. With Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards, you just look for codes under the caps of specially marked 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew. Enter those codes online to bank points, and then redeem them for awesome gaming gear. Everything from gift cards, game copies, controllers, consoles, custom Mountain Dew gaming gear, and more. Join Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards now.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at MountainDewGaming.com and 2525. Voter prohibited.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from the other window place.
So, Wilson, how do you show customers what new windows would look like on their home?
Well, we just all close our eyes and imagine what their home would look like. Why, isn't that what you do?
Actually, we've got technology that shows exactly how new windows will look on your home.
So no imagining?
Nope.
And I imagine your customers really like that.
Yeah, they do. Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube. Watch us live or on demand by searching 971 The Fan. Which fan host will awkwardly scratch their privates? Let's find out together. Find us on YouTube. The Fan.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
There was some speed to this.
The sudden roars.
Gauged it just right.
That Sunday celebration.
From Oslo to Ohio, Victor Hovland is the champion.
It's better live. Join us at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, June 3rd through 9th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Safe Auto Insurance is now Direct Auto Insurance. What's the difference? Basically, the name. Direct Auto offers savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, just like you're used to, which means you never have to make trade-offs when it comes to paying for car insurance. So don't even think about carpooling to work with Talkative Ted. It's time to stop compromising and keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com or call 1-877-GO-DIRECT. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Sears Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
You know, before we get to truth, we should have known, Maddie, that this was happening for Jared Goff. He just got $212 million extension, highest paid player in Lions history. And his girlfriend is a SI swimsuit model.
Okay.
And the soon, I don't know if he's engaged or not, but she had a tease. She teased a little announcement. Been keeping this a little secret, but something exciting launches tomorrow.
I'm pregnant.
She put the swimsuit stuff out there, but I'm wondering if she was talking about the contract.
Oh, so you thought she let the air out of the bag a little too soon?
It's the 60th anniversary of the swimsuit issue, which, you know.
Got those in the
so
closet?
She's there, and this power couple, and what they wrote about in Barstool says, I know everyone is talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, but we got to talk about Goff and Harper.
Okay, pretty cool. Happy for them. That's awesome. They're not married, is what you're telling me. Just boyfriend, girlfriend right now, rocking out. Did she go to Cal? Is that how they met, or is this a new development once he got into the NFL?
I'd love to know that answer.
Okay.
I don't know it.
Well, happy for them, man, because they
just mesmerized.
They're living
right
well. You're mesmerized. Huh?
Yeah.
You like what you see.
Well, I mean, Twitter will help you out here. How did Goff meet? It says his wife, but I don't think it's his wife. Began dating Goff in 2019 after meeting on a dating app.
Okay, what dating app is Jared Goff on?
Is that real? It does say the two got engaged.
Okay, good.
During their 5 years together. Her career has been a whirlwind. She grew up in Cali and went to Cal State Northridge.
Okay. I don't think I'm buying, though, that Jared Goff was on a dating app. That story would have been
met
all
on
over
a
the
dating app, it says.
That has to be some hidden millionaire athlete
dating
celebrity.
App to the stars.
Yeah, some type of dating app.
Eyes
to the
wide
stars
shut.
That we can't get access
Fidelio. To. That's amazing. Jared Goff and Christian Harper relationship timeline. We'll dig into that later in the week so we really find out what's happening.
I'm on it.
All right.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Experience the Sports Lodge mentality.
All right, CB, take us home.
All right, good news if you have dreams of coaching a sports team along with hosting your radio show. And I will explain. This news dropped before our show started today. Wisconsin Green Bay University, their men's basketball program, is hiring Doug Gottlieb, longtime radio host, and he's called some games on Westwood One.
Crazy.
But that's not just it. He's obviously going to take over the head basketball job this upcoming season. But Jeff Goodman reports, who's done a lot of work with Gottlieb recently, that he will be keeping his radio gig at the same time. My question to you is, if I gave you the opportunity to coach any D1 basketball program, do you think you could do that and the radio show at the same time?
CB, I want no parts of coaching right now at the collegiate level. With how much work was already on their plate for years and years and years with the recruiting and going out on the recruiting trail and all the hours you got to spend in the lab, with film and just there's so much. And now you're adding NIL and transfer portal and conference realignment and the CFP expansion in football. Like, no, I'm good, AR. Like, that's just...
But the money, Matty.
Well, sometimes there's a couple old heads that told me not all money is good money. And to me, that ain't good money, because when you're going to have time to enjoy it?
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that you could host a radio show daily and coach a basketball team during the season. Right. Off season, maybe. Like, I could see him doing this. Hey, I'm coaching my basketball team from... October through March or whatever, and then I'll host during the off season. But You're right. You're recruiting. You're trying to figure out. Like, this can't be true. He can't do both. He can't do it well. He could do both.
That's the key right there.
Like, that's the problem. I mean, if you want to do it the way I assume he wants to do it, which is to stay on top of everything. But I'm actually surprised to hear you say this because you know where my stand. You know, if you're a top 25 salaried coach in college basketball, you're north of $3 million a year. I think you'd give it a shot. You'd put up with all that aggravation.
You know what? I think we should call up our old friend, Steve Lavin. We've had him on quite a few times when he was working with, I believe, Fox back in the day, but he is now the San Diego men's basketball coach. Maybe he's got an idea on if he could have done that or not.
He would know. That's for sure.
And that, my boy, is a damn truth.
All right, today's National Day today. I love this one. It's National Buttermilk Biscuit Day. Biscuits and gravy are very popular, especially for your breakfast food items. Let's just talk about the toppings you'll put on a biscuit. You can do some jam. You could do gravy. What is your go-to choice of a topping on a biscuit?
Jam. I would say the first thing that jumped to my mind was honey.
Okay.
But yeah, Maddie, what would you like to butter those biscuits?
Listen, man, I need the top bun in this biscuit, CB, and I'm going to make a nice breakfast sandwich. Not a sandwich. Sandwich is what we're going with here. Like a good breakfast sandwich, that just gets the day started off well. Give me some egg on that thing, couple slices of bacon, couple slabs of cheese on there, and away we go.
Slabs of cheese.
I'm telling you, man, a breakfast sandwich with a good biscuit.
Slabs.
As long as the biscuit is moist. It cannot be dry. It's got to be a moist buttermilk biscuit. But yeah, I can rock out with a buttermilk biscuit breakfast sandwich to get the day started.
Just find out right now today is true.
All right, next up, we found out that Marquez Valdez-Scantling is heading off to Buffalo to join that wide receiver group with the Bills. My question to you is, tell the truth. Will MVS be the number one wide receiver option for Josh Allen?
Ooh. And
it's a good question.
Close. He's not young.
I'm getting more committee vibes from their wide receiver core this year. Like MVS, Curtis Samuel, the rookie Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid. I think their target share is going to be pretty even, but there still would have to be a guy. I'm probably going to bet on Dalton Kincaid. Give me the tight end over MVS to lead them in catches this year.
Well, I was trying to frame this because I knew you'd probably go with Kincaid, but in terms of the wide receivers,
I'll go with Curtis Samuel.
Oh, okay. But for me, it's between MVS and Keon Coleman.
He's versatile. I just feel like he just had a pretty productive season, maybe his best statistically. I'd have to go back and
give me MVS over the rookie then. Yeah, if you're making me pick between the receivers, I'll go MVS.
The truth shall set you free.
If you missed Ben Axelrod talking all things Cleveland and the Browns, Jordan Dajani talking NFL, and our guy Dan Dakich stopping by to talk about Caitlin Clark, Coach Diebler, and a lot more wherever you get your podcast. Type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and a lot more will be waiting for you.
Absolutely. All right, big show tomorrow. We'll have Shefty on, of course, and we'll have a lot of goodies for you on a Wednesday as usual. We'll make room for Common Man and T-Bone. Have a great afternoon. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye. This is a Fan Action Update.
This Action Update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem? Go 1-800-GAMBLER. Golf's second major. The PGA Championship starts on Thursday. The favorite is Scotty Scheffler at plus 360 at Tipico. Last week's Wells Fargo winner, Rory McIlroy, is plus 650, and runner-up Xander Schauffele is 12-1. Brooks Koepka comes in at 13-1, and John Rahm is 14-1. For your Tipico Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Have you heard? Skyline now has nachos with a layer of queso blanco under that amazing Skyline chili and cheese. Try them straight up or get the deluxe nachos with lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and sour cream at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
Right now during Jeep 4x4 season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for $379 a month for 42 months with $3,837 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial Services. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024. Jeep is a registered trademark.
I'm Charlie P., and I lost 50 pounds on Awaken 180 weight loss. Two of my doctors, my general practitioner and my gastroenterologist, both sat me down and had a real heart-to-heart with me that I was not headed in the right direction and said that I need to lose weight. So that's why I thought, now it's time to talk to Awaken 180 because they're going to be the people that are going to be able to help me. And ultimately, my doctor was able to eliminate my diabetic medicine. So I'm off my diabetic medicine, and I'm on such a small dosage of my blood pressure medicine that probably the next time I see him, I'll be able to remove that completely as well.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, it's Chops. Whether your goal is to eliminate medications, improve your health, mobility, or confidence, do what we all did and choose the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Reserve your at-home consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. That's awaken180weightloss.com or 844-346-1800.
Says who and or what? Those are the questions behind every Eco Guarantee. Other companies might promise same day this, guarantee that, and best in class every other thing. But just ask, says who? Says some announcer guy or cartoon character? You really want to take their word on it? Why not get your guarantees from the founder and owner of the company, me? Then there's or what. Too often, there's no promise make right, or it's a meaningless waived service fee. Eco doesn't even charge service fees, and our or what is always real. Last summer, we gave 277 families a $1,500 discount on their AC system when we missed our same-day deadline. That's a real deal make right. I know, because I had to pay for it. We also delivered same-day replacement service and same-day repair for many hundreds of others, because Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians really will come through for you when you need us to. Says me, or we'll make it right.
At GetEco.com.
Open your door to a beautiful Nature Stone basement floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. Save up to 50% during their May is for Moms sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.